Number 5, UConn beat number 10, Florida, 77-73. Fordham faces FDU tonight. The Devils beat the Senators 4-3. The Islanders over the Golden Knights in a shootout 5-4. Rangers and Blackhawks from Chicago tonight. This report is brought to you by New York City Small Business Services and by Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. No one sells more Lexus vehicles in New Jersey than Ray Cattina Lexus. Get into the holiday spirit during the Lexus December to Remember sales event. Unwrap exceptional offers on all models, including the all-new GX and TX at Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. It's 38 in Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
Sal back on The Fan to start your, what day is it today? Wednesday. And Hot
TikTok.
Stove continues. Yeah, Hot Stove continues, BT, with TikTok waiting for Pete Alonso to make a decision. I don't know how close we're getting to it, but it does feel like it's going to be different than it was a year ago for Alonso in the free agency, where there doesn't seem to be a lot of takers, but getting closer maybe to an actual real offer with the Orioles. It's not, dragging it out is not going to make much sense, I wouldn't think, from Pete's camp. Again, I could be misreading this thing completely, but I'm getting the sense that we're getting closer here. And after what happened yesterday with Diaz, and we could get into that again as well, where we stand on the opinions of what happened with the Mets and all that stuff. And more news came out on that, by the way. The report about Diaz being, in his feelings. Oh, Diaz was in his feelings.
You're not done, huh?
He was so upset that the Mets signed Devin Williams without consulting him. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Who are you to worry about what they're doing? Anyway, I don't think that they can survive losing Pete Alonso. And forget about the fan backlash, because that's going to be nasty if they lose Alonso.
It's pretty bad now.
Exactly. So if they lose Alonso on top of that, I just don't see. I can excuse getting better without Diaz. I can excuse, obviously, the Nimmo stuff. I still believe the Mets are going to build a good team. I don't know how you could say that they would be definitively better on paper going into the year without Pete Alonso.
Understood. Either way, I think the Mets are going to be better next year. No, even not knowing if Pete's coming back, and I still think he's not going to come back. I think somebody's going to go 5 or 6 years. I heard Boomer saying this morning that he thinks that this opens up the door big time for Pete. I think that that's nuts. I don't
as far as what?
Meaning that like the Mets will cave or, get 5 or 6 years. It's not going to change. See, my read on the situation is this. I'm going to focus on Stearns for a second. And I just said, and I believe this, that there is really a very clear path for the Mets to be better next year than they were last year. That's not that hard. They were barely a 500 team.
Right.
But I don't think that all hope is lost. I understand there's some despondency right now with Met fans. The emotional meter is ticking because you lost Diaz. You think you might lose Pete. You lost Nemo. Understood. All these things we've unpacked. Here's my take. So we are going to learn a lot about David Stearns because you've been on this. Others have reported this. The industry innuendo, hard line, 3 years, Pete. Mets will not deviate from that. They don't want to go more than 3 years for Pete. If we see a situation, which I don't think we will, but if we do, if Pete gets 5 years or 6 years from the Mets, well, then that tells me one of two things. Number one, the owner jumped in, and that's not good.
Right.
Or Stearns is flimsy, and that's not good. Because if you have a hard line on a guy who has a lot of assets, clearly Pete's very good at certain things, but also deficient at other things. If you've established that line in your mind as you want to build out these Mets moving forward, and because the fans are unhappy, you acquiesce and you get off that stance, which is a pretty hard stance from what everybody's saying, then that tells me that you really aren't convicted in what you're doing. And if you are convicted, even if you are and you want to do it, you allow public sentiment to change that. And that's not how you run a team.
I agree, but I also firmly believe Pete Alonso makes them better and is the best option for a power bat available. Where are they getting one? Now, could there be a trade that I'm not thinking of? Not one of the names that have been rumored to be available via trade is a potential power bat to replace Pete Alonso.
There's not many.
Not one other free agent. I mean, the only argument you can make, and I said this on Baseball Night in New York on SNY yesterday at 6 p.m., Monday through Friday, the only argument you can make is Kyle Tucker being that type impact bat. Did you see some of the stuff that came out about him yesterday, too?
No.
About his work ethic?
No.
Yeah,
That he doesn't really necessarily love the game?
Dude, I'm not committing $400 million to Kyle Tucker if that's an issue.
I've cooled on him a little bit. Last year I was all over it. I've cooled a little bit.
We'll see what the market says for him. But outside of that type of bat, and even he is not going to be the power bat, but at least that's the biggest impact bat that would be available outside of Pete. So I'm not saying Cohen should jump in. He shouldn't. I'm not saying Stearns should bend off his beliefs. He should not. But if there's a difference of, let's say the Mets are at their 3-year mark, whatever it is financially, and the Orioles go to 4 and Pete goes back to the Mets, maybe that's where you just meet in the middle a little bit. You're not getting too far off of it because you realize that, hey, you know what? We are a better team with Pete. And if we have to give in, hey, Yankees had to give an 8th year to Fried. They didn't want to do that. They had to do it. The Mets didn't want to give Soto 15 years, but they had to do it if you want the player.
15,
if you really want Pete back, and I believe that they do, I'm not saying you got to go nuts and go overboard, but at some point, you are going to have to expand beyond your boundaries if you want to make this team better. Otherwise, you better have some plan up your sleeve to make them better if they lose Alonso.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to twist the where it is right now. Right now, the Mets are a 75 win. Actually, the Mets might be less than that because their rotation still stinks. And one of the great things from last year is now gone, the back of the bullpen. That's Diaz, of course. And right now, 25 bombs from Nimmo is not there, which I do think will be replaced better with a better all-around player. And also, you might lose the 40-ish bombs from Pete. So I get that. That's why I understand the angst here. I look at it when you buy a home, right? When you buy your first home, you get married, whether you have young kids or you're getting ready to start a family, there's really 3 or 4 non-negotiable checkpoints on the list. Number 1, what's your budget? Number 2, what's the school district? Number 3, what's the proximity to work? And then certainly this factored into me a little bit, and like the high school, of course, as well. But the athletic port, like, are there fields? Is it a thriving athletic town? Those were our 4, right? So and we looked at 150 homes. I was losing my mind to the point where I'm like, just, you know what? Thank God I didn't do it now. Put down more money and just try to win this bid. I can't take this anymore. I'm losing my mind. I know you went through that as well. But that's stupid, right? And thank God that didn't happen. We settled where we settled, which we're very happy with. But I say that because when you go into a process and you've got 3 or 4 things that are paramount, I don't mean little tiny things. I mean the budget and the school district and how far it is to get to work, that commute. Those are 3 things that are an absolute lifestyle changers. So imagine after 5 months of looking at all these homes, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Forget it. Let's get a house we can't afford and the school district sucks. Whatever. School's not that important. Let's move there. That's dumb. And I say that. Think about this. Now, it's not a school district. It's a baseball player and his projectability and his pluses and his deficiencies. And to me, if Stearns bends now and we see 5 years, 6 years, number 1, because you lost Diaz, but also because Schwarber got 5 years, 150 as well, that to me is like buying the wrong home. We already know how the Mets feel about Pete. If we see something
but they do want him.
Well, they want him, but do they like him? They don't love him.
Okay,
they don't love him.
I just need, and you
know that.
You can't answer this. No,
they don't love him.
They wanted Diaz back. They want Alonso back, just at their price, and that's not why. Diaz was a totally different situation. Diaz was a baby. He was being a baby about the whole thing, whether it was that the Mets wouldn't go to 5 years, $100 million, or the fact that the Mets signed Devin Williams without consulting him, like he had some say. Get the hell out of here! Like, what are you kidding me? Not to mention all the stuff that I went over yesterday.
I love it. You're still not done with the Diaz stuff. I love it.
But that was a different thing because I do think he screwed the Mets. I think
he did. He didn't want to play for the Mets.
I think Cohen and Stearns were probably like, what happened? We were willing to give you more money. We were comfortable with where it's at. Why didn't you come back to us? You didn't even give us a chance. We would have matched that and went beyond that. So that's a different story. I think Pete will come back to the Mets and give them the chance to match. The question is, how far will the Mets be willing to go beyond where they drew that line? Maybe it does go up. And the bigger question to me, and I admit, I don't know this, who is the replacement if it's not Pete Alonso? The answer could have been, well, Kyle Schwarber. Some may say, well, Kyle Tucker, although there, like we said, are some question marks about him now. You got to give me the plan to replace that power bat if Pete walks. I mean, you can't say, well, we're going to be a better team. We feel comfortable. There are a lot of good players out there. Okay, that's great. I agree with that. And it shouldn't be that hard to improve on 83 wins. But you can't lose one of the best closers in the game and then lose one of the best power hitters in the game and think you're going to be better all of a sudden where there's no real replacement for either of those two guys.
Well, there's not a conventional replacement, but again, you can entice the Tigers. Hey, we want Skubal, and you can take whatever you want besides McClain, right? So maybe there's that angle. Then you get maybe a Michael King, and then obviously McClain in year 2, and you would think Manaea would bounce back. And, you have at least the makings if you bring in somebody like Skubal and somebody like King. You've got the makings of a very good rotation. And then whether it's the Fairbanks angle, the Suarez angle, you've got a potential to have the 8th and the 9th inning on lockdown. So I know that we're, preconditioned to, especially when we watch somebody like Pete just swat home run after home run, to want to bludgeon teams to Aaron Judge, all the power of the Yankees, Pete, we get it. But there's different ways to win, number one. Number two, back to the like versus love thing, right? So the Mets loved Juan Soto. They loved him, which is why they gave him a suite and made all those family concessions and went up to $800 million, basically, and they would have kept going and going and going and going and going. If the Yankees brought it to $850, I honestly believe the Mets would have gone to $900. The Mets were not losing that because they love him. Now, last year, they made Pete sit through this, twist in the wind, in a lot of ways disrespectful, but bad timing, Pete coming off a bad average, and his athletic profile, the age, all the things that we know, not the best market to hit if you're Pete. Well, here we are again. We know how they felt about him last year. We know how they feel about him now. That's why when I heard Boomers say, well, this is a great thing for Pete. No, it's not. I think it's the same for Pete. They like him. They don't love him.
Right. And to your point, if they do all of a sudden change course, that's not a healthy, functioning organization structure.
Oh, we're desperate. You can't. You can't operate that way.
Cohen saying, "Not for the public backlash. Just go get Pete. Whatever the market is, just go get him."
It's the wrong move if they do that.
Yeah,
right. You agree with that? That would be the wrong. You at least agree with me on that, right?
Yeah, I would not want that to happen.
Okay.
I don't want Cohen getting involved, other than Stern saying to him, "Hey, here's what I really want to do. Can you give us the resources to do that?" Not Stern saying, "Hey, Pete's going to walk. We're drawing the line here," and Cohen saying, "Nope. Bring him back." That I don't want that. I want to see what Stearns can do. Everybody's ripping Stearns. Everybody's blaming David Stearns here. I want to see what he can do building his own team. I think he's putting his you-know-what on the table and taking some risks here.
We'll see how big they are.
Well,
eventually.
I like that, but you gotta actually win. And boy, it's hard to envision a team that's going to be significantly better than they were a year ago without both Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Ray is in Shirley starting us off. What's up, Ray?
What's going on, fellas? Hope all is well today. Sal, BT, you said it on my show 2 weeks ago. You didn't think they would both be back in regard to Diaz and Alonso. But nobody saw him going to the Dodgers. I will say this. 3 years in a row now, Sal, Yamamoto, Hernandez, and now Diaz, we've gotten taken to task by the Los Angeles Dodgers. We got to remember where David Stearns comes from. In Milwaukee, he's the guy that traded away the talent, the Josh Haders, the Corbin Burns. He's not used to acquiring the talent. And I got a feeling that all these changes are rubbing guys the wrong way. Adam Ottavino had that report that he spoke about just a couple weeks ago, how players were furious in the way that Carlos Mendoza was handling the bullpen. Look, it's not all his fault. The starting pitching has failed. But David Stearns, who I've been a staunch supporter of, is starting to waver amongst the fan base. And we all know what happens when the fans turn on this team. Steve Cohen wants 3 million people in the seats again next year. You better make big moves. And I'm not saying it's too late, but it's very nerve-wracking when I'm sitting here and every...
BT said that, you said this yesterday, BT, and I think it was perfect. Do you trust Steve Cohen? Do you think David, or do you trust Steve Cohen's going to give the resource? I forget exactly what he said.
Do you think Cohen's cheap? No.
Do you
think Stearns is smart? Yes.
So I do fundamentally, Ray, trust, and thank you for the call, trust both those two things. The question is, what are the moves out there? It's easy for us to just see Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger and Pete Alonso.
Yeah, just regurgitate the names. I hear you.
Okay, but they have to be smarter than just that and doing the research on players available. Stearns knows they're not going to show up with a team that we're going to be like, what the hell is this? But it does seem harder to justify minus Pete Alonso now. They already traded Nimmo. Good. That was a good thing. Losing Diaz, not very good. Not their fault necessarily, but not. There were some people saying like, oh, they should have offered a big offer from the beginning. No, that would be stupid. Why would they give him 5 years, $100 million when they only got $369? They were right there. He didn't want to be here for whatever his personal reasons. Okay, there's really nothing you could do but move on. Same thing with the Yankees with Soto last year. He didn't want to be there. Okay, move on.
That's
you got to
what
move
I
on
said.
and build a team.
Got to move on.
I just don't know where you're getting that power. Do you think that Lindor and Soto are enough power in that lineup to carry the Mets?
No, absolutely not. No way.
So you need at at least one more power bat.
I think you get 18 to 20 from Beatty. And if Alvarez can ever, I mean those are
big
ifs. Those are big ifs.
You could bring in Bellinger. Like if the Mets didn't get Pete, I would bet anything that they're going to get Bellinger. They're not going to come away empty-handed.
I can't imagine the options are dwindling. By the way, nice job, Ray, starting off the show. He's got a good Mets pod, which I was on a couple of weeks ago. As you guys want to check it out, it's called the Mets Cast Pod. Massive Mets guy, fun. Okay. I had a good time. So nice to get Ray on the show. I know he's called us a bunch of times. Hoff jumped on too. He did. Yeah, he told me that. I said, wow, she must have been desperate that night. Listen, the bottom line is this, Sal. The options are dwindling. The options that we've talked about for a month or two are dwindling. I do believe, and I've said this, I don't know who it is, I believe that the trade market is going to be the avenue that Stearns is going to look to crush.
The first trade that I want Peralta and Trevor McGill.
You got to get some arms in here, man. I mean, if these arms start going off the board, then it's different.
I think they're going to get. We know they're going to get some arms, but I know
they are.
The Peralta Trevor McGill trade, to me, there was rumors about that.
Yeah.
That would get me excited. That's a nice two-piece trade that upgrades the bullpen, and now you're set with the pen, and you get a top starter in Peralta. So I would like to see them go. Now, again, Skubal's the main guy that I want, but let's see what happens with Skubal. I'm a little concerned about the lineup. I hope that they don't put just more of an emphasis on upgrading the rotation and saying we can survive, with some spread out balance, better balance in the lineup, which is good in theory. I just want one more big bat along with Lindor and Soto.
No, they need that. There's no doubt. I'm not going to push back on that. Guys, you need to understand when Stearns was hired, right? He wasn't brought here to just sit in a suite and watch Keith Hernandez and Gary Carter and Darryl Strawberry, put balls into the seats and seemingly score 6 or 7 runs a night. I know they didn't average that, but you know what I mean. He came here because the Mets needed help. And the Mets needed really an overhaul in a lot of ways. And I think that, the parallel to me, and I'm not going to go too deeply into it because if you listen to the show, you've heard us say this. A lot of it is Dable and Shane's first year at the Giants. Unexpected success. They I think because of that, Stearns had to hold off on some things he wanted to do or he even planned on doing when he took the job. And now here we are. Now he's getting around to doing that. Nimmo's gone. Pete might be. Diaz is. So this was never a team that was a move away from a World Series. Hell, this isn't even really a team that's a move away from being perennial, consistent back-to-back division winners. There's a lot to do, and people need to remember that.
Joe is in Mineola. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, hi. I just want to read Sal's tweet from September 30th, 2024. This was the game 161 against Atlanta. He said, quote, "I'll never forgive Diaz for this. I was right about him from day one. He is the worst."
Nice.
So this guy choked in the biggest spot possible, completely saved by Lindor's heroics. This plus the fact that relievers are fickle, you guys always say this, Diaz has an above 3.4 ERA in 3 out of 6 years with the Mets. Devin Williams' entire career is more consistent than that. And Devin Williams also had a better year one in New York than Edwin Diaz. Guys, I'm at work right now. I'm in a corner conference room. I kind of have to go, but I really love it.
What a great
really
call, Joe. Thank you. You made my day. Thank you, Joey. Yes, I forgot about that tweet. But I knew I was right never to trust Edwin Diaz. Ever. He was awful in 2019. And by the way, to his point, now I forgot about that big spot against Atlanta final day of the year. When has Diaz been so dominant in the postseason? We didn't even see. I know the Mets went on the run in 2024. That was less about Diaz and more about the team and the chemistry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They were hitting their way to success in Milwaukee with the Alonso home run, again, beating the Phillies. Diaz there was still going to be question marks about trusting him in a big spot in the NLCS or in the World Series, whatever it may be with Edwin Diaz. And bullpens are fickle. Now, I'm not sold on Williams being a lockdown closer either, but stack up their resumes. Devin Williams has had a better ERA more consistently than Edwin Diaz.
Put it this way. If you took whatever 6 years, 7, whatever the actual years are, and you just doubled that, right, for both players, meaning exactly what they did for their first 6 or 7 years, they do it again. Who's getting in the Hall of Fame quicker? It's actually Devin Williams.
Plus.
Believe it or not. I mean, well, actually, not even believe it or not. Devin Williams was one bad season or a couple of months away from being beyond reproach.
Correct. People are, and myself included, because I mean, it's hard to ignore where we saw it fall apart. And then you're hearing things like he's a pain in the ass to deal with, whatever it may be. I don't care about that. I care about his ERA. But we saw it with the Yankees where he lost the closer's role. Prior to that, you and I were having arguments. You're like, they got the best closer in the game.
That was what I was saying, because he was.
And Devin Williams going in. So now if bullpens are fickle and Devin Williams has a track record of high-level success, and he handled adversity and some failures in New York in year one, why wouldn't you believe that he could bounce back to the high level that he was once at? Now, you're taking a little bit of a gamble, but I don't think it's a bad gamble to take for the Mets.
Yeah, now the Mets still need to get somebody else just in case he falters. There's no doubt you cannot go in. And they got Raley and some other arms that are certainly competent, but
no, they need one more.
You need a security net, and then if Devin Williams doesn't need the security net, you need a lockdown, high leverage, 8th inning, or even like 7th inning, couple of guys on, get 3 or 4 outs, and then hand it to I almost said hand it to Diaz, hand it to Williams. Like, they still have work to do. No, but I don't think that there will be an appreciable difference between Diaz's and Williams' number. The only thing that I would say, and this is fairly an antiquated stat, it's a byproduct of the team. It's not a deep metric. Like, if I had a bet right now who's going to have more saves, I would bet that Diaz would, because he's on a better team.
Correct.
But the whip and the ERA, like, I anticipate it to be very close. I will say, when he was getting ready to rattle off an old Sal tweet, I'm saying this could go anywhere. Yeah, I mean, if this is careful, one like Soto, King Cohen, like I was hoping it was. I was hoping it wasn't something where it made you look good.
Yeah.
No offense.
That one did.
I wanted to hear you explode on somebody.
I definitely didn't think we were going to make it.
Didn't you think it was teeing it up like?
I was like, oh, boy, what I say now? Yep. What, Diaz is the greatest? We can't lose him?
Maybe we'll do a segment before we bounce. The dumbest tweets we've had since we started working together. There's a lot to find.
I don't think we have enough time
find an audience
to do that. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll continue with your calls, 888-808-1019.
The home of the NFL on Westwood 1 is WFAN.
Looking for the end zone.
The first-place Bucks are hungry for another NFC South win, taking on the Falcons in Tampa, 8:15 tomorrow night. Touchdown! Thursday Night Football is on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey apps.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of Internet Past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet. That's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen! So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. You could find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow. Billshappen.com is safe, secure, and all online. Just remember, when you need cash, go to billshappen.com. Billshappen.com for the cash you need now. Billshappen.com.
HL Gross Jewelers of Garden City is Long Island's premier engagement and wedding ring destination. Visit HL Gross today or online at hlgross.com.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up for 40 days of consistent sin. All over Febreze car clips right on your bed. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
At the New Jersey Lottery, we always encourage players to keep dreaming big, but only if you're age 18 or older. Please play responsibly and don't include minors in your lottery activities. For helpful tips on how to play responsibly, visit njlottery.com. Not 18 yet? No bet.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
The absolute best food and catering for your holiday gathering. Call Kitchen Cabaret. Serving Long Island for 50 years, Kitchen Cabaret is Long Island's #1 premier caterer and favorite place to eat and shop. From Montauk to parts of New Jersey and Westchester, it's Kitchen Cabaret for the most delicious food and best-in-class catering, bar none. Located just off the LIE at exit 39. Call them at 516-484-3320 to place your order now. Or log on to kitchencabaret.com. That's Kitchen Cabaret with a K.com.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT, it's out back on the Fan. 888-808-1019. The Yankees going to do? Are the Yankees going to do anything?
No, is this thing on?
What? Yeah. Hi. Are the Yankees making a move?
I mean, if you are tired and you can't sleep, just put on the Yankees Hot Stove Show on Yes. You'll be zinging in about 6 minutes. I'm listening last night to Tim Naring, who I remember watching play. Pretty good ball player. Red Sox, a couple other teams. Talking about like player development. And hey, come on.
Even that hasn't gone well for the Yankees.
I mean, he was talking about Dominguez and some other players, Spencer Jones. And
I saw one clip about analytics too. How Cashman was
I didn't hear that. I may have actually fallen asleep when he said that, and then woken back up. A little nap there. And I heard Jerry play one thing this morning on the way in, and it was along the lines of really just, genuflecting at the altar of the almighty Los Angeles Dodgers. Like, basically everything that he was saying is the way that it used to sound about the Yankees, about how aggressive they are and what ownership's doing and how successful they are and how they've devoted every resource to what they're... I mean, I paraphrase, but that's pretty much what he was saying. So, yeah, the Hot Stove Show is boring. Now, since you bring it up, so to contrast the whole, Met energy versus the Yankees now, it's definitely very different. But let's also be honest. The Yankees have a lot less to do than the Mets. The Yankees right now have the best pitching staff in baseball.
And to be fair, the Mets really aren't doing anything but losing players. I mean,
right. Yeah, you make it seem like we're talking about additions. It's defections.
They're rumored in everything, though. Yeah. And the Yankees weren't even in on Edwin Diaz. Hoff, you have a quote here from, Brian Hoke.
So Brian Hoke has this out there. It says, Brian Cashman's take on his progress at the winter meetings. Now, here's the quote. We're just staying engaged, trying to match up with some things. But it's been tough so far. Don't like the asks coming our way, and I guess the opposing teams don't like what I'm trying to pull from them on the trade stuff. We do have some conversations that possibly could lead somewhere.
Okay, now you guys can mock that all you want.
That's the Yankees.
Hey, listen, it's not what you say, it's what you do. We know that, right? And Cashman knows how to run trades. He does. Now, most of more of the recent ones have been in season, whether it's Jazz a couple of years ago, lesser extent Ryan McMahon a year ago, Bednar obviously is fitting very well.
Sonny Gray.
He's going to go down the band list, of course. So I do think that there is and I've said this, a really good chance that Jazz is traded this offseason. I think I would almost be, certainly if Bellinger resigns, either Dominguez or Jones is gone. They've got a plethora of, I'm not even going to waste time on all the names because you really don't know them. I don't mean you, but I don't even know them all. I know like one or two and I forgot it right now. But, flame-throwing arms that are very highly regarded throughout baseball, I believe, because they have so many arms at the major league level that they can do that. Yankees have a ton of options, and I'm not expecting the Yankees to go bonkers like the 3 or 4 players they did a year ago. You just better bring back Bellinger, okay? I would like to see a righty bat. Like the Yankees do need a thumper that can hit right-handed.
I want a leadoff hitter, and I want to change some of the parts on the infield. Either McMahon and Jazz, McMahon. I think they need. I'll give you the shortstop if you want to keep that, or change the shortstop. You can keep the third baseman, change the shortstop. I think they need to change 2 of the parts. Their infield is a mess.
Yeah.
Like a mess. Ben Rice at first base as of now?
Well, listen, that's something, and I can't prove it, so that's frustrating because I'm not going to sit here and say that he's solid defensively. I can't prove it, all right? So I don't have much depth behind this statement because there's no evidence yet. But in my opinion, and he looked awful trying to pick some of those balls. Like he didn't. I mean, that was on Volpe, but man, he didn't. He looked bad. It was definitely shaky. But my point was, is if you are at least if you're a major league catcher, whether you're good, average, or awful, on some level you've got pretty decent hands. Unless you're Mike Piazza,
I was
going to
say, did you see Piazza play first?
But he was also older and stiff and a different athlete. Not that Ben Rice looks like Ricky Henderson, but he's a little bit more agile than Mike Piazza.
And the key with Piazza, he was uncomfortable being there.
That's the whole thing.
He didn't have the confidence. He didn't want to be out there.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, you're not going to be comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm not knocking Rice because I do like Rice's bat, but he's shaky. And that's putting him out there
for now.
He's going to catch a little bit. Okay, fine.
Yep.
Second base, Jazz, he puts up the numbers. We all know he's not the player that we want to see with the Yankees.
Trust him. I don't want to move forward with him.
We want to see a different, the Clement type with Toronto. That's the type of scrappy player. Forget putting up big numbers at second base. You just want a solid, scrappy player there. And you'll give up some of the tantalizing talent of Jazz Chisholm, whether it's his speed or his power. Shortstop is a gaping hole. I mean, dude, Volpe and Caballero, come on. And then third base, you got a guy who's a sick glove.
Oh, he's such a good fielder, but he's a strikeout machine.
But his bat makes you want to vomit. Yeah, I mean,
it's not perfect. I mean,
that's a tough infield.
I agree.
And even in the outfield, I mean, you got Judge. Okay, great.
Hope the elbow holds up.
No, well, I mean,
Yanks got a lot of work to do. They've got work to do for sure.
Grisham, all right.
I mean, what kind of year does he have? I didn't like that.
And then the 2 question marks.
But I got something for you though, Sal. And I don't know if the Yankees are thinking this. Well, they should be, and I guess on some level they have to be. But I hope that this is part of their calculation this offseason. What if I said to you, the Yankees trade Jazz?
Yes.
Gone. You sign Bichette. Follow me. You sign Bichette, who can rake and is a righty. You put him at second. You start with Caballero because Volpe's hurt, whatever, and then Volpe comes back. Hopefully he's a little bit better. And you keep McMahon, who's going to pick everything at third base. And then, now, a couple of things have to work out, one of which would be their top prospect for once truly becoming a superstar. But in a year or so, if you sign Bichette and Lombard is ready, well, now Lombard takes over short. Bichette could go to third. He's got the arm for it. And Volpe, you could punt to second with a weaker arm. Like, there's configurations.
Do you want Bichette or no? It's not a bad.
I want his bat. I know he's not a shortstop.
You weren't high on him.
He's not a good fielder. I've said that. And in this situation, he's not playing short.
Player.
No, he's scrappy.
That's what I'm saying. You like that.
Yeah, he's a righty, too.
Yeah. You're hell-bent on the righties now.
They need some. Rice, Jazz, Wells, McMahon, Grisham.
What about Alonso at first base?
I don't want Pete. I don't want him.
He's a righty bat.
I know. This guy's waving his hand at me. This guy's rolling his eyes.
Have Ben Rice play first base for you. It's fine. He'll scoop at everything.
Yeah. Well, so give me contract terms here. Let me at least examine this maybe more than the quick
4
reflexive
years,
no.
4 years, one whatever.
No, I'm good.
You're not going
I don't
more
want
than 3?
Pete. Listen, if I don't want Pete for the Mets, why would I want him for the Yankees? Think about that.
Well, because he's talking about right hand. I know.
That's like being consistent. I get it. He's a tough guy to evaluate because he's very good at certain things. He's just not my kind of ball player. He's just not. I'm sorry.
Hector is in Washington Heights. Hector.
Heck.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Good.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I know you guys don't want to talk
glad
about
you got in today.
I'm not gonna get into it too much, but I'm gonna miss you guys. Sal, you know I rock with you wherever the hell you go. BT, I'm going to really like what you do. I've said it many times. It's a lot of times when I agree with you more than I do with Sal. And Sal's my friend, and Sal's a Met fan. But your point of views are always appreciated. So
thanks, man.
Good luck wherever you guys go.
Thank you, brother.
I'll be looking for your BT, and I know where you go. Well, I don't know yet, but wherever the hell you go, I'm always going to rock with you. This situation here, man, and listen, fandom is about emotion. Right? So, of course, we're going to have an emotional reaction. And I keep thinking about it, and I'm going back into my own thoughts and things that I've posted about Edwin Diaz and my reactions. I've called Edwin Diaz, when he comes in the game, I've called it the Edwin Diaz experience, right? Because we never know what the hell we're going to get. And, yes, you can debate whether there's been more bad than good with Edwin Diaz, but I think mostly is we've gone through the struggle with him, right? And we feel like we know what he is, and to see something like that go, and to go get an unknown, yeah, you could talk about the numbers, and the numbers, yeah, Devin Williams seems to be like the better option. But I think it comes down to that. And then I have a question for you guys. I want you guys to answer this to me, because
I think those are things we've said. I think those are, understood. Being a fan, hey, it's WFAN. I mean, fan. Yeah, right. That's how we reacted. And some people get pissed, and I get the Diaz. Listen, Diaz didn't want to be here. Screw him. Get lost.
Well, I see, BT. I get that Diaz didn't want to be here thing. Two questions then. You can hang up if you want to. Why did Diaz not want to be here? Did they push him to not?
No, because I don't think he thinks the Mets. I don't think he thinks the Mets going to win a World Series. That's what I think.
Did you hear? Did you see the Hector? Did you see the reports? Hold on. Did you see? Did you see the reports? Why he was upset? There was a couple of things saying. Well, he was upset that they let Hefner go, and then he was upset that they didn't consult him on the Devin Williams signing.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Is he wrong for that?
Yes, he's wrong. Of course he is.
Who the hell is he? I mean, what are you kidding me? And thank you for the call, Hector.
Devin, what do you think about this? Are you okay with this? Get lost.
Why the Mets probably made, I would assume, offers to Diaz along the way. Here's where we're at, and he kept saying no. He was saying 5 years. He opted out. Okay, he opted out. Then the early reports where he wants the same deal that they gave him a couple years ago. Yeah, okay, like the Mets are going to pay 5 years, $100 million. There was a thought, we talked about it yesterday, I thought for sure that he was going to get more than what he got, the $369. And if he did, then it was going to be on the Mets. Did they want to go to that level or not? And I was like, I don't know, man, I want him back, but I'm not, you got to have a line in the sand. I'm not going 5 years for $100 million. He didn't get that. He was probably upset that the Mets wouldn't give him the deal that he wanted. And then he decided to go elsewhere because the Mets went and got Williams without consulting him. Like, they're going to go to him and be like, hey, we're going to sign Williams. We're going to sign that. Oh, they got to do business for the team. They were offering Diaz. They couldn't come to an agreement. They pivoted and said, we're going to bring in Devin Williams. We're still in play for you. What do you want? Tell us what you want. And then he, like a baby, took his ball and went home.
Because he had no interest in staying here for whatever the reasons. And we just ran through a few, obviously. And I saw the same ones yesterday as well with the pitching coach, some other stuff. Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy, that we didn't call you to confer with you about Devin Williams. You know when you do that? You pick up the phone and you reach out to Derek Jeter, given at that point, the divide with Alex Rodriguez. Says, hey, Jeets, we got a chance to do this. You cool with this? Yep, I want to win a World Series. Go get him. He's one of the best players in baseball. Click. That's when you confer with somebody. You don't reach, and it's not asking permission, but there are certain situations.
You're showing respect.
You're showing respect. You're deferring a little bit. You're empowering the player, and emotionally, that is a good thing downstream for the team and the new player that you might bring in, rather than having them kind of sort things out the first day in the clubhouse, like, how you been, man? Yeah, you kind of bump into each other awkwardly. So, and that is not new. That happens in the NBA. You don't think that the Warriors, not that there was any beef, but you don't think the Warriors threw it by Steph Curry? I know for a fact that they did with Kevin Durant. When you bring in somebody that's either going to rub you the wrong way from a personality trait perspective or take shots away from you, if you're a basketball player, shooter like Steph, you do the right thing. Doing the right thing with Diaz means nothing here. He's not worth it. You don't do that for somebody like him.
And he's not even on the team. He's a free agent. Think about how stupid it would be. Jeter is not only a legend, but he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I could see if they went to Soto and were like, hey, what do you think of this? Or Lindor, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that?
A little different.
They're probably negotiating and not getting anywhere. They're going to go to Diaz. And hey, what do you think of us potentially bringing in Williams? Would that upset you?
That's a great point, yeah.
I mean, he's not on the team. Who does he think he is, this guy?
He's pitched 11 innings in the postseason for the Mets. He's been here since 2019. I don't have it in front of me. I'm going to just guess. I don't know. Devin Williams pitched 3 1/3 last year in the playoffs, 1 year with the Yankees. He just got here. Now, he wasn't very good last year from A to Z, but the point is, Edwin Diaz did not get here 2 years ago or 3. 2019, just to put it in terms we could all understand because it sucked, pre-pandemic. 11 playoff innings. Get over it.
BT and Sal on the Fan.
All right.
Oh, you got to read? That was a good emphatic ending right there.
I just wanted to let that marinate for a little bit. That was like a powerful delivery, the theater of the spoken word. Come on, Sal. All right, FanDuel's the #1 sports book for same-game parlays. Now, I got to check on FanDuel. Can you actually? I think you can. On new residences for somebody like Pete or Tucker or Belly. They've got to have that stuff. I'm going to jump in that. Anyway, points and rebounds, talking about hoops, threes, and assists. FanDuel, the spot to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay. Or if you want to track every stat live, you can do that. It's all on one easy-to-use app, and right now is a great time to join. New customers get $150 back in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So, bet on the players you love the way that you want. Head to FanDuel.com/BT to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/BT. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. You know we love the app around here. Been telling you about it forever. And it's safe and secure. And when you win, best part, you get paid right away. So as my man Ari would say, believe you, pay me. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions to apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
And talking to anybody who's ever played at a high level, including you, one of the biggest indicators of getting your ass whipped is those rushing yards.
That's exactly right.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The University of Utah announced its partnership with the New York-based private equity firm Ordo Capital to create a for-profit company, Utah Brands and Entertainment, that could infuse more than $500 million into the Utes athletic department. The university will maintain full control. A portion of the annual revenue will flow back to Ordo Capital, and the NIL war chest will balloon. This is just the beginning, folks. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
RU fans, it's basketball season. Make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights hardwood action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights basketball is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
It's Chuck Devine with SnowCountry.com. Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. More fresh snow for Wednesday with a bit of a mix close to home and all snow further north, some accumulations too. The big-time snowmaking already has Camelback on 13 trails in the Poconos. Bel Air on an impressive 2/3 of their terrain, and Windham Mountain on more than a dozen slopes, pack powder on a fast, firm base. Gore Mountain's 20 trails cover 10 miles in the Adirondacks, and Whiteface with 56 trails covering 14 miles. Jiminy's 8 slopes in the Berkshires cover 3 miles day and night. Stratton on 40 trails, Killington more than 60. Both have action for all abilities, nearly 50% of their terrain. Smuggler's Notch a couple dozen pack powder trails. Look for Shawnee and the Poconos, Mountain Creek, New Jersey, and Pike, Vermont on Friday. Mount Peter, New York, and Southington and Mohawk in Connecticut Saturday.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
Ray Cattina Lexus of Freehold and Ray Cattina Lexus of Monmouth. One legendary name, two exceptional destinations.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Tonight on SNY, follow the storylines as the Mets scan the free agent class and trade candidates to retool the 2026 roster.
Definitely something to watch for the Mets.
Mets Hot Stoves live from the winter meetings tonight at 6:30 only on SNY.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Having the right winter tire matters. So take control of the roads this winter with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire. Town Fair has the region's largest inventory of Bridgestone tires, all at the guaranteed lowest prices you'll find anywhere. And with 100 locations, you'll find a Town Fair near you. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone Blizzak tires and the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
No, not a fan. What's the name of it? Is this Collective Soul? I remember it.
Yeah, Shine.
Oh, Shine.
It's not bad. Oh, I think every time it comes on, I complain. I don't know. It's just like, and drones on. Not a fan. Good.
There is a guy that I wanted to bring up. Remember, we were talking about getting a scrappy player for the Yankees, potentially, that they need instead of Jazz.
Yeah.
How about Nico Horner? He's under contract. He's under contract for one more year.
All right.
Cubs shopping him. Every team is in on him.
Yep.
He's the exact type of player that we want the Yankees to get.
How many bases? What did he steal? 25 last year?
6 WAR player, 2 Gold Gloves.
6 WAR?
6
Wow,
WAR
that's
player,
massive.
2
6.
Gold Gloves, can actually play shortstop.
Yeah.
He's been at second base because of Swanson. Barely strikes out.
Yep.
Scrappy kind of player that everybody loves.
Yeah. I mean, I listen, like...
what numbers were we asking? He had 297 last year.
Stolen bases, I said 25. Just a complete blind guess.
Dude, stolen bases last 4 years.
Yep.
20, 43, 31, 29.
20, 43.
20, 43, 31, 29.
With the grease of the doors, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It's one thing to grease the skids to get us out of here. Grease the door?
But those are big. Those are big numbers.
Yeah, that's nice. And the profile's great. Putting the ball in play, good
career
wheels.
282 hitter.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Last 4 years, 281, 283, 273, 297.
Yeah.
I mean,
give me the on-base stuff. I mean, I know it's pretty good.
Total 340.
Okay,
it's career. It's good. Last 4 years, 327, 346, 335, 344.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to have that's good. That's fine, actually. It's pretty good.
But you're exchanging the gaudy numbers.
Yep.
From Jazz for a scrappy, consistent, put the bat on the ball, strikeouts. Let's see. And 649 plate appearances last year. Take a guess how many strikeouts he had.
649 appearances, so not at bats, right? Just total PAs?
I'll give you 599 at bats.
I know it's low. 50?
49. Almost right on the button.
That's amazing.
I mean,
that's
dude,
a beautiful thing.
600. Yes,
it's gorgeous.
That's a beautiful thing.
There's your leadoff hitter if you want, and then you could have Bellinger. Not that you put Belly too, but
how about you get Quan and Nico Horner?
I mean, keep singing it. I'm listening.
Or whatever. Maybe beggars can't be choosers at this point. Nico Horner,
go for it.
Is the exact player that the Yankees need. His name came up, I think, last year.
But why would the Cubs? We got to think about it from the other side. Why would they want Jazz?
Because, I'm not saying Jazz straight up. I'm just saying trade. I don't know. What
one answer might be because they're going to lose Tucker, and at least Jazz is bringing 30 bombs.
You
look at it that way.
The question is, why would the Cubs be shopping him?
They don't want to pay him.
But he's under contract for one more year, and every team is in on him.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, now the Yankees have. This is all subjective, so I don't get too wrapped up into this, but. The Yankees have, I think, the 21st or 22nd rated farm system. So at least, from a 20,000-mile view downward, it would seem like the Yankees would have a lot of competition because their prospects aren't as valued
fair enough,
to make a trade.
But don't you think he's the exact piece that we're talking about?
Love the profile. Now, he doesn't win them a World Series necessarily. No, but makes them better, makes them tighter.
But he makes them better. He offsets. You don't need a lineup with 8 guys hitting 30 home runs.
Yeah, well, trust me, I know.
You need fewer strikeouts, more contact, scrappy guy, great defensive player. That's the type of guy you want. Like you said, if everybody's in on him, then the Yankees are going to have some competition and teams are going to be willing to bid up. I don't know if the Yankees have what it takes farm system-wise, but, man, that's the type of guy you want as opposed to looking at Jazz and saying, well, he's got elite-level skill, he's got the talent. No, but there's something off there. Those numbers are great, and you compare him to Nico Horner, and you'd say, well, I'd rather have Jazz. Yeah, it's not fantasy baseball. It's reality, and you want that scrappy type play.
He's making $12 million this year coming up. I mean, obviously, you hit free agency for those numbers. He's under 30 right now. I mean, he's getting in the neighborhood of $150 million. So, I mean, is that too big for the Cubs' appetite? It might be. So you got to pounce. That's a name that I like. I've always liked that name.
BT and Sal on the Fan, talking Mets, Yanks, Hot Stove, 888-808-1019. Thomas is calling from Yonkers. What's up, Thomas? Hey, Thomas, you there?
Thomas.
He's not there. Danny is calling from Bradenton, Florida. What's up, Danny?
Dano.
Hey, guys. What's going on, man?
Good.
I'm calling because, I consider myself minority Met fan. I'm very realistic. I try not to get too emotional when it comes to player attachments. When the offseason ended, I told people if Alonso and Diaz walked, I was more than okay with that because I thought the Mets needed changes. I didn't see the Nimmo trade coming. But what do you guys think of this? Even with the chaos of the Diaz signing, going to the Dodgers, it sucks. But with Williams on board, if the Mets could pull off the Pelota-McGill trade, I think that they could still add Suarez in the bullpen if they wanted to really have a three-headed monster. And for first base, I've always liked the idea of signing Okamoto to play first base because he's a Gold Glover from Japan, and he's a solid hitter. He won't provide the power that Alonso will give, but he's a solid enough hitter, great defender at first base. Everything's about run prevention. And with Simeon at second base, Beatty can stay at third, Lindor, solid infield defense. What do you guys think of that? And, of course, the key is to get Bellinger to play left field. I think Bellinger left, Okamoto first, pay for Pelota-McGill, and sign Suarez. That will bolster the bullpen rotation, and the lineup will be steady. Not powerful, but steady.
Not a bad lineup, Danny, and
not
thank
bad
you for
at
the
all.
call.
Well thought out.
I would not, in that scenario, sign Suarez. If I'm trading for McGill, I don't need to sign Suarez. I'll take that money and put it into the rotation. Or a DH bat with a little more power. But if you're telling me, all right, you want to get Okamoto and he can play great defense at first base, and you offset Pete that way with better defense, and you bring in Bellinger to help soften the blow of losing all the power. Bellinger may not hit what he did with the Yankees, and he's certainly not going to hit the amount of home runs that Alonso hit, but he's going to hit 25 homers.
He's going to steal 20-something bases.
So you could do the math a little bit differently as opposed to one guy doing it. You do it. I like that idea of the lineup going in a different direction. I love the idea of the trade for Peralta McGill. I would just, instead of Suarez, I would take that money and go get like Ranger Suarez.
Well, as he was going,
he said the closer Suarez, right?
Yes, he did.
You're right.
Yeah,
I want
and
Ranger
McGill kind of lock up 7, 8, 9 as he was going through it. And again, very well thought of, nice, very well thought of, and it's just a good thought process. So congrats.
Congratulations on your great take on the Mets.
Dude, I'm fried, man.
I
know what
get
to
it.
tell you,
I
man.
get it. But hey, come on, man.
No. But as he was doing that, I was writing down what you just talked about, starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, that's not enough for me. Like, I do like the Bellinger and the defense at first and the bullpen lockdown. In theory, final 3 innings, you need more starting pitching than just the one move. I would need one more. And if you did that, then that's a massive overhaul. And if you do that, the Mets are a playoff team.
If the Mets trade for Peralta, now at least you got your top of the rotation guy.
Yep.
You also have the potential with McClain in there. You still need, to me, one
Michael
more.
King. The cheapest option.
Fair enough. Michael King. I would go after Ranger Suarez, but fine. Go get Michael King. All right. Now you're really piecing it together where you have Peralta, King, McClain.
Yep.
You're still in a position because you didn't give up, although I guess to get Peralta and McGill, you're going to have to probably give up
a Tong or a Sproat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And maybe one Jet Williams or something like that.
Yeah.
See, that's the one thing, BT. If that takes the Mets out of the mix for Skubal, then I would have a problem with that. I like that trade, Peralta, McGill. I don't want to. I'm not doing anything that would be taking me out of play for Tarek Skubal.
That's a dangerous game. I don't disagree with that in theory. But there's going to be a point where he's not traded yet, Skubal. The Mets need to do stuff, and they're going to have to make that decision, like that real determination. And if they don't do it, then they could be pretty bad next season.
I guess they could have gotten to a point where they've talked to the Tigers. Like, they've had to already talk to them and get parameters of what a deal would look like. And maybe they say, this is just too rich for us, and it's never going to get to a point where we feel comfortable. Let's make the other moves and then just go get him in the offseason. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I need to see a lot more before I'm ready to say, yes, this kid's going to be the next Jackson Dart or Drake May.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T or cut them into snowflakes to celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score. Report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
One choice can change everything. The New York City Department of Transportation reminds drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. You can't rewind a crash.
We love talking about the Knicks and Nets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Brought to you by Chef IQ, precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. Baseball's winter meetings wrapping up today in Orlando. Meantime, the Knicks heading to Vegas as part of the semifinals of the NBA Cup. They advanced with their win last night over the Raptors in Toronto, 117-101. They're 17-7. Josh Hart, who had a solid night, 8 of 11 shooting, 21 points on Amazon Prime, talking about how they stay focused.
This is not looking too far ahead. It's about winning every game, winning every possession. If you do that, you get to the end goal. But you can't look, you can't look past anybody. You can't look past Toronto. Can't look past, I think, Orlando won. So you got to make sure we take care of, what's in front of us.
Knicks will take on the Magic. That's who's in front of them in Las Vegas. The Rangers tonight in Chicago to take on the Blackhawks. Last night, wins for the Islanders and the Devils. The Isles beating the Golden Knights in a shootout 5-4. And the NFL confirming that the Rams will play a regular season game in Australia next season, and they will serve as the home team in that game. This report brought to you by the New York City Department of Transportation and by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Current temperature brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands Racetrack. Get all your parlays, money line, and prop wagers made at the Meadowlands Racetrack's FanDuel Sportsbook, the number one sportsbook in North America. 21 plus to wager in present New Jersey. Gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. It's 40 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN. Now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Out back on the Fan. In an hour and about 20 minutes from now, we'll have a special giveaway for Steve Summers' book. Is this, so we're giving away a signed book, or what is this, Hoff? A meeting?
It's a signing. You get tickets to a signing.
Oh, now that I read this, it's going to be...
Somewhere in Manhattan I saw he's going to do a signing, yeah.
Chance to win a pair of tickets, see Steve at his special Me Here, You There book signing meet and greet. So we'll give that away. I'll read you the whole week when we do that. We'll give that away in an hour. He is...
There you go, a little schmoozeroo.
He's a jam, man. He
unique.
sent me... Dude, he sent me an email.
Yeah.
He heard the news or whatever and was like sending his regards. I had no idea who the email was from.
Well, what did it say from the sender?
It said Steve.
Anonymous?
I actually thought it was Steve Apria.
Steve at Gmail?
No, it's like, so I'm not going to give his email away.
No, obviously.
It's not his name.
Oh.
So I see it, and then there's a whole paragraph, and you'll be fine, whatever it was, Steve. And in my mind, for some reason, I'm thinking Steve Apria in engineering. And
he was also a great guy. Steve Apria is awesome.
Yeah, he is the best. I write back like, yeah, man, I'm ready to build the studio. And
He's
start a new
list of services. He's going to help build the studio for you.
And then Summers responded back without even acknowledging the studio line and something else. And this whole time I'm thinking it's Apria. And then I see
Steve. That
is
hysterical.
So I see him in the hall.
I saw him the other day. Yeah,
he comes in to do his podcast once a week, whatever. And I'm like, oh, hey, man, did you hear what's going on? He's like, yeah, I sent you an email. I'm like, oh, that was you?
That's bizarre. I mean, it's one thing to have one step of miscommunication, but for somebody to send you something, to you to respond to somebody else, and it never gained some clarity. That's fairly unique. That's hard to do.
I knew I recognized I should have known better. Anyway, so stay tuned. We'll give away the Summers book signing tickets in a little bit. 888-808-1019. We're talking free agency. I don't think, even though that maybe the price for Skubal is too high, I still don't, and you know how badly I want Peralta and McGill in that trade, and you're saying, well, they got to move on. I don't know if you could take that. I don't want to say risk. I don't know if I'm taking myself out of the Skubal sweepstakes ever. So they've probably had those conversations. I'm sure the prices are astronomically high, as they should be for Skubal at this point. We'll get closer and closer to spring training. If the Pirates got to make, the Tigers got to make a decision to, to get off the pot. And in that particular point, I would, BT, wait and make sure I'm in a proper spot and position to go land Skubal if they do trade him. Because if he gets traded somewhere else, that's something that to me is more unacceptable or less acceptable than losing both Diaz or Alonso.
Yeah, that's something you go nuts over. Yeah, unlike the Diaz stuff. Well, not Pete's different than Diaz, to be fair to Pete, but Yeah, that would be a different type of energy. Listen, I think no matter what you do, no matter how you attack the Scooble angle, you're going to have to do so without all the information that you want. Like at some point, there's going to be a leap of faith, meaning you could talk to Boris, you could talk to Scooble. Hey, how interested are you? Are you going to resign here? You're not going to get it in writing. That's just a pipe dream. That's fiction. So you're going to have to either say, okay, we feel comfortable enough to part with a lot of stuff that's going to change the entire complexion of their minor league pipeline, not knowing that he's going to sign, but thinking that we have a chance, or we're not going to do it because it's not going to be definite. Kind of like the Yankees with Soto. Yankees got burned.
BT and Sal on the Fan. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. Let's go back to the calls here. Chris is in Poughkeepsie. What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys. How are you? First-time caller. I love the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
I think the biggest thing that's driving Mets fans nuts with Diaz, especially me, is here you have a guy that was traded in 2019 and was a disaster. Every Mets fan that saw this guy come out of the bullpen, he was giving up home runs, giving up leads. I mean, Mets fans hated him. And then you had a guy in New York basically rise out of the dead and become a player in 2022 that Mets fans just loved. They fell in love with. And he became our guy, our closer, the trumpets, everything. And then you see him leave, and it makes you wonder, is it a Durant-like move? You know, I can't win with the Mets, so let me go to the team that won the last 2 World Series. And the other problem is, too, like in Game 161 in 2024, even though it gave up that lead to the Braves and Lindor bailed him out, he wanted to come back out in the ninth and finish that game. So it just shows
I hope
that
so. It's the least he can do after blowing it before that.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that he wanted to be there and he wanted to be in New York. And you know what? Whether or not they didn't communicate with him, with Williams or not, I mean, listen, business is business. But it feels like there's something off to why he wouldn't want to be here after he seemed like we endured him. He wanted to be the guy. And who else is the best closer in baseball? I mean, I know the Phillies have Duran, but who else is the best closer in baseball other than Diaz?
Devin Williams.
I mean, how do you replace that?
Honestly, Devin Williams, over the last 4 years, and thanks for the call, Chris. I'm not trying to be funny. We've done it. Go look at Baseball Reference or whatever stats you want to find. Go look at the last 4 seasons in total and tell me who the best closers in baseball have been. Nobody's going to say that Diaz wasn't one of them. He was, and obviously I want him the back. So, yeah, of course, there's a part of the rant that was bitter yesterday with him leaving. I do think that there's clearly more to the story. I was surprised that he left, period. I was flat out shocked when I saw what he left for. And then you heard the trickles of, well, he wasn't too thrilled about Hefner not being there. Oh, he wasn't too thrilled about them signing Williams without saying it. He never went back to the Mets. If he wanted to leave for the Dodgers, that's one thing. That's a dumb business decision not to go back to the Mets and see if you could get even more money from the Dodgers. Even Yamamoto was smarter than that.
That's business 101. That's where you just, you keep playing another hand or so. Draw them in. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'll play. Yep. There's some more chips. We'll let you think you have a chance to win. And then you get, I don't know, $7, $8, $9 million in totality from the Mets. And then you bring that back to the Dodgers. You present it to them. And instead of signing 3 years, $69 for the Dodgers, maybe you get 3 years, $80. That's business.
Whatever the reasons are, can we all agree that it is clear Diaz did not want to be back?
That's one of the first things I said. Was never... Even forget about the fact that he was connected to the Dodgers for well over a month. That's true. We all kind of felt it. When he spoke about the Mets, about free agency, it was fairly emotionless, kind of like Soto. Hey, I got to see what's best for my family. He didn't go on and on about how devoted he is to the Mets and how much he loves their core and he believes in their vision. He was cutthroat.
I just wonder what the hell really went into it. If it's some of the stuff that was being reported, that's kind of out of the Mets' control. The Mets can't say, well, we're going to keep a pitching coach because Edwin Diaz is not going to be happy. The Mets can't not sign Devin Williams to their bullpen at what they feel is a good value because it might upset Diaz. It wasn't like they said, we're bringing Williams back, you're toast. Mm-hmm. They brought Williams back with the intention of bringing Diaz back as well. So those are two things that I would say that is not the Mets' fault. Is there something deeper that we're not aware of yet with Diaz and potential issues. I don't believe that, because then why would he even negotiate with the Mets to begin with? Was he just insulted that the Mets wouldn't give him the ball, blow him away with the 5-year, $100 million? I'm not sure did he just want to go to the Dodgers and try to win there? I don't know all the answers, but at this point, to me, it's clear you can't blame the Mets. You blame Diaz for not wanting to be here. I don't think there's a fault of the Mets for losing.
No, I said the same thing yesterday. I agree. I think that the Mets had a pretty good feel that this was going to happen, which is why Devin Williams is here. It's called Plan B, or at least an option, and a viable one. So I think that they would have liked to retain Diaz. They would have liked to have had a chance to match and exceed the Dodgers and, maybe get him to stay. And then Diaz is the closer, Williams is 8th, and you're good to go. But I think deep down they thought that he was bouncing, so they had to get somebody else in there.
I agree. Jason is calling from Brooklyn. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, boys. Good morning. I love your show. I don't know how many times we need to rehire Billy Martin, but I'm going to miss you guys. You're the best show on the fan by far, and you guys let everyone talk. Quick thing on Diaz. I think that it's time to part ways. He's been there 6 years, 7 years, whatever it was. Sal, you mentioned when's the last time he was good in a big spot. I agree with that. But I've called in before about this. We will close on this. I always like giving you guys Sopranos trivia. Can you tell me how many people and who Tony killed?
Oh, geez, how many he actually... Boy, that's a tough
The first one I remember... okay, let me think.
I'll give you one.
Yeah.
Is Willie Overall, which is talked about. It's not shown. It was his first one. He and Paulie talk about it. So now you got 7.
Oh, you're talking about on camera, though?
On camera kills. There are 7 on camera kills.
The one I remember, was it...
Ralphie?
Well, yes. I mean,
with the shotgun.
Well, also Big Pussy.
Of course.
I mean, he was a part of that.
But is that really his kill? I mean, that's a tag team kill.
You count that one?
Shot him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he
shot him.
No, but I think he was the first one. The first one, though, that I remember is the kid, was it Bevilacqua? What was it?
Yeah.
Good job, Sal.
Yeah, when he took him out in that shed and blasted him where he...
he peed himself. He gave him a soda, right?
Yeah.
He gave him a soda, yeah.
I remember that. 9.
You said Ralphie already?
I said Ralphie. I'm going to say 9 or 10.
Okay, that's...
Did he do Richie Aprile, too? No, right?
No, that's Janice.
Oh, right, Janice.
When he was eating his pork chops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Ralphie, Pussy, Bevilacqua.
And how many more are there?
And there are 4 more.
Oh, the guy in
he gave us the number. I'm sorry.
The guy at college. The guy when he went to take Meadow to college. Remember he strangled the guy up there?
Yes, at that little motel.
Travel agency.
Yeah.
And then there was... I'll give you... You're missing 2 big ones, but I'll give you the harder one.
He didn't kill one of his gumas, if I'm not mistaken.
Can I do a favor? I have 10 episodes left of season 6. Don't spoil them.
This guy's still catching up.
Oh.
He's going to watch Different Strokes next week.
Go ahead. Hoff, close your earmuffs for a second.
I'm walking away.
Go ahead. Give us the final ones, Jason.
All right, there's the guy, Chucky Signori, who he shoots on the boat. Remember, he pulls the gun out of the fish?
Yes.
And then the 2 big ones are, of course, his cousin, and then...
Tony Blondetto,
And the last one was who?
Chrissy.
And who?
And Moltisanti.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's a good one, too. Forgot about that. Thank you for the call, Jason. That was fun trivia right there. Yeah, but Chrissy, I don't know if I would call that a kill. I mean, I guess technically,
come on.
yeah.
Unconventional when he just left him hanging. He just basically...
I know.
I'll tell you the thing. I know. I can still see him. The car's overturned. I'm going to use the word poignant again because it was poignant. Now, I love Pink Floyd. I don't talk about Pink Floyd very much, but I love Pink Floyd, right? Saw Roger Waters in concert in San Francisco, I don't know, 10 years ago, whatever it was, The Wall. And not the whole Pink Floyd band, but Waters was there. Anyway, when they're driving and Tony knows that he's got to put him down, Comfortably Numb is playing as they're driving at night.
Oh, I didn't realize that, so I'm not... Okay.
Oh, and...
That's a cool subliminal...
It's a subliminal song. It's a deep song. The beat, the pace, perfect. And then, obviously, a lot of drugs with Chrissy, with his background.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good, subliminal messaging right there from David Chase. Man. I think I'm due for
Just another pinprick.
I was just... What's that, the song?
Yeah, part of it.
I was talking about this actually yesterday on the SI Media podcast with Jimmy Traina. And
what'd Jimmy say? What'd Jimmy say about us? Anything?
He brought up... I don't want to get into that yet. He brought up that Sopranos is on. I guess they're doing a marathon on HBO, and anytime he sees it, he wants to go back and watch it.
Can't help it.
We were talking about, I forget the specific episodes. Anyway, we were just talking about that. I am due for a rewatch myself. I think once every year, I need Rocky. Definitely Rocky.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely, over the holiday break, I'm going to do the Rocky rewatch.
Okay.
And then maybe I dive into the Sopranos again. It's so great.
You know what's interesting? Listen, I've talked to you about Rocky. I've watched him with my son. I haven't let him watch Creed. There's some sexual content.
Okay.
Like, still 10. That's just way too young for that. But all the other Rockies we've watched, as much as we love Stallone, did you get into Rambo? Because I did not get into Rambo.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it like in snippets. I've never seen, First Blood. There's a couple of different ones. I never got into. I know. Hop, did you get into Rambo? When
I'm sure he's a Rambo guy.
Yeah, Rambo was great.
Yeah, well, I didn't get into it.
Rambo 3?
Yeah.
There was a Rambo 3. How many did it go? How many?
I think there was at least 3.
There's at least, because then there was the newest one that they did in 2007. Remember that one? Yeah.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
First Blood was the first one, right?
First Blood. The second one, I forget the setting, but the third one, I think it's in...
Russia?
No. It's in Iraq, I think. Or something.
Wow.
Maybe go back and do a Rambo.
I have to watch that one.
I've never seen that, but I'd be curious to at least see what it's about.
Me too, a little bit.
Although I don't know now, going back and watching some of those movies from the 80s that I missed out on.
Yep.
Will it hold up? Will I have the attention?
Well, that's why I love The Sopranos. Even though the style's different, but, there's a lot of old... And Tony was a classic rock fan. Like, he listened to classic rock, which is my favorite genre.
Yeah. I
can watch it every day.
Alex is calling from Southampton, New Jersey. What's up, Alex?
Hello, Al.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Love you guys. I love you guys. I feel like I said a little sad, but love you guys.
Thanks, man. Love you too, brother. Thank you. Afghanistan, by the way, with First Blood, with Rambo, the third one. Go ahead, Al.
Yes. I wanna know why you guys both annoyed this general manager from the Mets, Stearns, like the guru, the smartest.
I never did that.
Man,
I never did that. Okay. I think he's good.
So I apologize.
Yeah, win something. No, it's okay. You got to win a championship first before you get that.
I don't think either of us have anointed him, but he did have an excellent track record in Milwaukee. And I think the main point to what we're saying is that he hasn't had time to do anything here. It's been 2 years.
Let me finish.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me finish. I'm saying you guys are right. I'm not saying about that. Is that you guys are pretty good at hammering somebody when they don't do their job. He didn't do the job last year. He comes from he's a fish. Used to swim in a small pond. Now he's swimming with the sharks.
Okay.
Now he needs to produce here. In Milwaukee, it was okay if he makes the playoffs. Here, we have to win. And the Mets came within what? One series away from the World Series the year before? And this year, it went totally... Why he's not taken to task?
I'll tell you why.
I mean, the Diaz thing also, it smells like him.
What do you
have
mean?
One of the best closer... Well, okay, let me explain. You have one of the best closer in baseball. It's not out of the realm to consult when you're going to sign another one. It happens all the time in baseball. And you're going to let him go to the Dodgers when you're supposed to have King? Like, Sal, you say he's King. He's going to take everybody for a couple of... He should have stayed with the Mets. He would have given him $75, $80 million.
Alex, he didn't go back to the Mets.
Because the Mets want a penny pinch, not the owner.
Alex, come on. And thank you for the call, and we do appreciate the support, but you couldn't be more lost on this one. The Mets want to, quote your words, Alex, penny pinch. Look at the payrolls. Look at the payrolls. With Stearns, without Stearns, since Cohen has taken over, there's nothing that has been penny pinching with the New York Mets. So you're wrong factually there. That's strike one. Strike two is... Diaz didn't give the Mets a chance to either match or go higher. What do you want them to do? Strike three is David Stearns inherited a team in 2024. We've gone over this, BT, many times
A lot of
before.
times, yep. Let's do it again for Alex.
What's he supposed to do? Come in and take a wrecking ball to it right away? He had to evaluate what was happening. There was a lot of money already committed to the players on this team, whether it be McNeil, Alonso at the time, Lindor, Nimmo. He had to see what was going on, and in that evaluation period, the Mets happened to sneak into the playoffs and go on a run. Now he's in a tough spot where he couldn't take a blowtorch to it, even though maybe his instinct said this isn't sustained. You said the same thing.
Yep,
smoke and mirrors that year. Yep. They barely made the playoffs. And everybody's like, oh, they're one piece away. And I get sucked into it, they're one piece away. Then he has his first offseason. He botched the pitching. We ripped him to shreds from Montas before Montas even set foot on the mound. So everybody knew that. And then the Mets fell apart. They had a bad season. Now he's finally able to say, here's what I need to do. And he's starting to do it. You just got to let him do it. And then after this year, then you could really fully evaluate David Stern.
That's the scoreboard for him. Yeah, okay, so a couple things there from Alex. So his first point was, and I know you just largely refuted it, but I'll just add this to it. Like the way we hailed Stearns or how we hold him in such high regard and it's not really fair or earned yet. Well, any scouting report that I had on David Stearns was rooted in his success for Milwaukee, but then Olska's as a shrewd, sharp, young baseball executive, that's appealing to me. And I'm just sitting there saying, well, if he did that there with limited resources, then why wouldn't it transfer over to the Mets even more with an unlimited checkbook? So that's why the energy was there for him so positively. And now the third year is he's got to get it done, or he might get fired, or it's going to get really hot on that seat. Number one. The other thing, and you brought this up, I wasn't even thinking about this. Like, why would you not confer with Diaz about Williams? Because he's not under contract. I gave you the Jeter A-Rod thing when they rightfully asked Derek. I ask is maybe a little bit of a loose interpretation, but ran it by him, just kind of kicked the tires emotionally. And Jeter's he's a winner. I want to win. And Alex is great. Get him. We'll figure the other stuff out. He's a great player. Get him. That's when you do it. I gave you the Curry-Durant example as well from Golden State. You don't do it for somebody, for a closer, and you certainly don't do it for somebody who's not even officially on the team contractually.
Right. I could see if he were on the team, let's say he was signed for one more year.
Yeah.
And they went to him and were like, hey, we're thinking about bringing in Devin Williams.
But just to let you know, you're the closer.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. That's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's not on the team.
Yeah.
Imagine, think about now, first of all, they have no connection to need to do that or whatever it may be. What's the term I'm looking for?
They have no responsibility to do that.
Correct.
That's a big word. We couldn't come up with responsibility.
I don't know. My head's all over. Anyway, they didn't have to do that to Edwin Diaz. But beyond that, do you think it will be smart business when you're negotiating with a free agent who's probably negotiating with other teams to tell another free agent your plans?
No.
As it pertains to another, that would be dumb. Why would I tell Edwin Diaz so he could tell his agent so then they could tell other teams what Devin Williams is going to be getting?
No, you don't do that.
That is like asinine. You would never do that.
Never.
Diaz is a moron if he thought that the Mets were going to go to him and say that. Different story if you were under contract. His feelings got hurt. I would bet, forget the Hefner stuff, forget the Williams stuff. I would bet his feelings got hurt when the Mets wouldn't acquiesce or bend to his demands of 5 years, $100 million. Then they got hurt even more when he realized the open market wasn't going to give him anywhere near what he wanted. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, he's probably making decisions based on emotion, which aren't the right ways to make decisions.
Well, yes, as a general premise, you want to, we want to have your checklist, you want to be pragmatic. To have a big decision in life driven by emotion is probably going to work out worse, poorly more times than not. But I would say the way he assessed, even if it was just emotion, I think this situation will work out well. He's on a better team with better weather, with a better roster, with a, and I don't know what they did in terms of deferring, and we'll get the contract details, and there's tax implications. Boomer loves that stuff, and I appreciate it. I understand it. I'm not going to drone on and on about it now. It's not the time. It's not the place. I don't really fully understand it, but I get enough of it to know what he meant this morning. But that matters. So, he's from Puerto Rico. That's the short of it. Can you kick it down the road and you get, you save $7, $8, $9 million there because you're getting taxed in Puerto Rico? Well, if it's deferred, that's the short version. I don't know, and I really don't care. But if I'm Diaz and the money's comparable, I got palm trees and I got a world championship backdrop, I'll take that. And by the way, one of the best players that I played with for the last couple of years isn't even re-signed, and the thought is that the organization is not going to really go very far to bring him back and Pete, I'm out of here.
Right, but the grass is always greener. And then you realize that, maybe he made a bad decision leaving he was comfortable here, he was beloved here, the trumpets became a thing. Now he's going to a new spot, new locker room, new fan base, new atmosphere, new pressures. I'm not saying it's going to work out or not. I'm just saying that I don't believe he made the decision with all the stuff leaking out would show me that he he clearly was acting on emotion as opposed to, you know what, I really just want to go with a team with a chance to win, and New York couldn't provide that as well as L.A. The fact that he didn't go back to the Mets to even up the price, I'm not getting the sense that he made the soundest decisions here. It doesn't mean it can't work out, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that it would, because even if he doesn't do very well, there's so much talent there that it will probably overshadow any implosions he might have. Unlike here, where it's a different roster. If he gives up a big lead late, it's probably going to be tougher to recover from. Yeah, we'll find out.
ERA over under 3 for Diaz.
I'll say slightly under. I think he's going to be good.
Going over.
Of course you are. I don't blame you. You root for that.
Up.
I got you. Hey, here's the bottom line. He's gone. And people are leaving fast from Queens. It is time to start getting some additions here.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019.
Dart takes the snap. Big Blue is back after a bye, taking on the Commanders at MetLife. 1 o'clock Sunday.
Into the end zone for a touchdown.
The home of the New York Giants is the Fan. 1019 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
1877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Come visit the engagement experts at London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations.
At Nielsen, fun is in the driver's seat.
It's the season of giving at Nielsen Dodge. During this season of light and generosity, we're giving you our best deals on every car, truck, and SUV in stock.
That's right, Chels, and we're pulling out all the stops to bring you extra special holiday offers.
Lease a new 2026 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4, just $189 a month. Or lease a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4, just $299 a month. Or choose from hundreds of quality certified pre-owned vehicles.
We'll also give you 0 down payment. We always give you the credit help you need.
Fun is in the driver's seat when you save money.
On Route 10 in East Hanover. Online at NielsenDodge.com. A proud member of the Nielsen Auto Group.
Fun is in the driver's seat.
Wrap up the year's sales event. With approval term 27 months due at signed Compass 5189, Cherokee 5894. At tax tag 498 doc and DMV fees.
Listen to You Better You Bet with Nick Costa Sunday morning at 8 right here on The Fan. Nick will preview all the football action and get you ready for kickoff. Presented by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Chance of rain today with a high around 45.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
The fight against lymphoma, leukemia, and myeloma calls for the experience and skill of world-renowned experts. As New Jersey's only nationally ranked cancer program by U.S. News and World Report, John Thurr Cancer Center at Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers offer innovative treatments close to home. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, and I lead the stem cell transplantation and cellular therapy teams in Hackensack and Neptune. We're proud to be pioneers in our field and the most experienced team in the region, having performed over 8,000 stem cell transplants. We were the first accredited center in New Jersey to offer CAR T-cell therapy, a revolutionary treatment that harnesses the power of your own immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells. This is more than advanced care. It's personalized, life-saving treatment from distinguished experts at New Jersey's best cancer program. Call 833-CANCER-MD to schedule an appointment. That's 833-CANCER-MD.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. We got a little 3 random questions coming up in just a little bit. Did you see... I mean, I thought Evan was unathletic. Did you see...
Well, he is.
Matt,
I mean, we could confirm that. It's not like you were wrong in that.
Good
that
point.
thought.
Good point. Did you see Mad Dog try to shoot
Good God
a
Almighty,
half
just
court
stick to the
shot?
radio and stick hanging out with Stephen A.
But I thought he was athletic because he would play tennis.
I heard he hit a golf ball pretty well.
He was okay on the Sixers basketball team back in the day.
The WFAN 66ers.
Correct.
Nah, I'm calling nonsense. There is no way. He's not 93 years old.
Who was the best? Breen, Ed Coleman? Those two guys were...
Coleman had a great shot. Eddie was great.
Okay.
Breen was good.
Breen was he played at Stepinac. He was good. That's probably it, right?
But Chris was actually okay
Yeah,
with the
no
shot.
way.
Did you see the video, Dove, that we're talking about?
Yes, I did.
He did. Listen,
He looked like he hurt himself
yeah,
afterward.
he did. I thought he pulled up lame at the end. And now I get it. He's not 50. He's in his 60s. Chris,
I don't know.
Body change is a little bit understood, and I'm not here to shame him for the optics, which were honestly horrendous. To be honest with you,
he is something else, man.
He's the best. But. Do not tell me that he was a good basketball player. I don't want to hear it. Because if you were, I don't want to hear. Don't even try to sell me. I'm not interested.
It's fine. Don't take my word. You're going to see Mink soon doing a St. John's game.
Yeah, I'm going to see him Saturday.
Mink was the coach of that team. He coached
Yeah,
Dog.
yeah, but Mink is nice to like Mink, and Mink wouldn't have a disparaging word about anybody.
Did Mike play too?
Not hoops, I don't think.
Yeah, Mike's not bringing anything to the basketball court.
What do you mean? How do you know that?
He's not bringing anything to the ball.
He might be a sniper for all you know.
He's not a sniper.
Sitting behind the arc, boom, bang.
They weren't shooting threes back then.
Where do you think Breen came up with that call? I heard it was from the 66ers game when Francesa used to knock down threes from the baseline.
Did Francesa ever get a double bang, though? Because when something really good happens, you get the double, the triple bang from Breeny.
So you're saying Mike did not participate in that, Dove?
I don't remember him doing so.
Husler? I should mention.
I can see Husler having some games. Lean, at that point, young, probably fast.
Good, very good basketball player, I believe.
Who?
Bob Gelb.
Yeah, just tell us the entire. You were the coach. You were there. Who was there? Exactly.
Scazzeri played.
Nah, he's not bringing anything. Except maybe weed.
What?
Scazzeri can't play.
How do you know
I'm just going to be honest,
You're
man.
judging books by the cover.
That's usually accurate.
But you didn't think Mike could play golf, and then he proved you
I didn't
wrong.
say that. I didn't say that.
Oh.
No,
you sure about that?
No, I said he's got a weird swing, but before we played with him, then I'm like, I bet you Mike could score, and he did. Mike's a good golfer. He's solid, straight down the middle.
I would have thought, before I saw that video of Dog yesterday, I would have thought that he would be able to at least handle himself on the court.
Me too. And then I saw the video, and I'm saying that he was not good.
But that was not a conventional...
Doesn't matter, dude.
It was a half-court shot.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Please, guys, you got to go see this. I mean, I know he's still in good shape. He's thin. I know he runs. He's a very good tennis player.
Yeah.
I've heard he can hit a golf ball pretty well. I know. But just reacting to the video that they put out there yesterday, there is no way that Mad Dog was averaging 11 points a game for the WFAN basketball team in 1990. No way.
Why don't you do one when you go to the Colts game next or Kansas game
for basketball?
Next? Yeah, do a little half court.
I'm gonna bet. I don't have to go anywhere. Go to my Instagram page and look at the shot.
Why don't you do it at St. John's?
I've already done it at St.
Like a
John's.
half-court shot like that? You think you could be better than Mad Dog at the half-court shot?
With my eyes shut.
I don't know.
Get the hell out of here.
I don't know, man.
But I know you just messing around now trying to get me worked up. Are you insane? You could put a blindfold on me.
I mean, at least he came close. You might just
came close.
Yeah.
He missed the rim by 30 feet.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm
not taking the bait anymore. Stop. Get out of here.
You're done with taking the bait. PT and Sal on the Fan. 888-808-1019. The number to call. Anthony is calling from Old Bridge. What's up, Ant?
Hey, good morning, guys. As usual, thanks for taking my call.
All right, Ant.
Even though I'm always arguing with Sal and he hangs up on me, I'm definitely still going to miss you guys. And the whole Stevie B, Diamond Girl, all our nonsense.
I played I played that song the other day. And you know what I said to Alexa? No, I swear to God, I was in my basement working out. I said, Alexa, play Stevie B, Diamond Girl. And it actually played it. But I know you're right. We went through this.
Every time it comes on my playlist, I think of you and I crack up.
All right, get to your point before I hang up on you.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, be quiet. Two pop culture things quick before I get to my baseball point. Number one, Rambo had 5 movies. He had the original 3, Rambo First Blood, Rambo, then the next one, and then Rambo 3. Then he did Rambo, and then he came back with Rambo Last Blood. So there were 5, and they were all They were all pretty awesome.
Good job.
And BT, when you say about F you, pay me, you always say Ari. Yes, he did say that, but that's originally from Goodfellas.
Well, that's true. That's true. That is. But I do cite Ari as a lawyer and the agent, obviously, for Vince and the crew. You're right. That was in Goodfellas as well. Absolutely correct.
Like Paulie in the restaurant.
I know. Can't make the payments, bleep you, pay me. I know.
Yes, exactly. You're right. Baseball, very quick. I mean, you guys know I'm a Dodger guy, and the whole Edwin Diaz thing, I really don't care. It's just funny how all the Met fans want to, text me yesterday, I hate you. It is what it is. But I don't know if you guys have been looking at the X and everything going on since late last night, but the Dodgers are pretty much, they're going to get schooled.
I mean, I've seen some of that stuff.
I have not seen that, and thanks for the call, Ant.
I have.
Appreciate the kind words.
God almighty.
What was the latest on that? I did not see any
of that.
Just
some industry innuendo bouncing around the meetings. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. That would still surprise me a bit.
I'm just reading some stuff here as we talk in real time. Heyman saying Mets, Yanks, and almost all big market teams, and some others have checked in on Kyle Tucker. Okay, that's that. I'm looking for the Scooble stuff. I did not see it. Maybe Hoff is not in there. Maybe we get him on it and just see. But I would believe if it were legit, it would have came across my feed. I'm not saying that it's not. I mean, maybe the Dodgers do get Scooble, but until I see something definitive in that regard, I think it's all just speculation. And if he's available, and the Mets have the top farm system, which they do. I'm not saying that. That's according to whoever grades these things. Then they should go get him. There's no excuse. And you shouldn't have to give up Noel McClain to do so because it's 1 year left on Scooble's contract. If you get beat by the Dodgers for that, I don't know what to do. Then it's not just a Mets problem or a Yankees problem. It's a baseball problem where the Dodgers just have all the stars, and you're going to have to hope that things go awry for them, and somebody's going to be able to knock them off.
I'd still be... Listen, there's not much that the Dodgers could do that would surprise me if... First of all, if the Tigers send him to the Dodgers, shame on the Tigers. Not that you would not take the best deal. So to be fair, if the Dodgers offer up the biggest package with talent evaluation obviously is subjective. So the Mets could have a one publication, the top system or the third. But if they don't like their prospects, or if the Tigers have a bunch of prospects that are in the same position where the Mets' best prospects are, maybe that's not a natural marriage. Either way, I heard this morning Boomer's dropping some good financial stuff and. Haven't talked to Boomer in a while, actually.
I was going to say, did Boomer drop any texts?
No, haven't heard from Boomer really in a couple of weeks, actually. And the thing that he said was that there were 16 teams in baseball. Check this is why it's broken. 16 teams in baseball that have a lower payroll than the Dodgers pay the extra threshold, the CBT, the extra tax, meaning. The Dodgers tax, the check that they cut for the tax for going over the threshold is a higher number than the total payroll of 16 teams in baseball. That's why we're not going to have baseball in 2027.
Right, because it's
at least to start.
It's obviously a system that is completely broken.
Think about that. I mean, I knew it was distorted, but when I heard that number from him, I'm like, wow, I didn't think it was that bad.
I was saying this yesterday off the air at SNY. Yeah. They need to contract. Baseball needs to contract at least 2 teams, maybe more. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? The Rays with Steven Matz and their penny pinching.
And that stadium that they just can't get resolved.
Come on.
Although years ago, Sal, you remember this, they were talking about contracting the Twins. Remember the Twins were a team when they couldn't get the new stadium from the Metrodome, and then they got Target Field. And maybe the Marlins when they had issue with Joe Robbie.
And the sport would be better off because of it.
It would be better talent.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Better talent, which leads to better competition. Instead, it's just all about money. Everybody's making decisions based on the wrong thing.
You're right.
Just get the best players put in there, have the best games, and then the sport would benefit because of it. Not just, let's have a team in this market even though they suck and water down the competition. No. Pace of play this. But no, it's about quality of play. You got 2 teams worth of people at least that shouldn't be in the big leagues. That's the problem.
I know. Although I do think, and not even to get into this now, I do think there are a few viable cities, and I think if you follow this stuff, you know the cities. Obviously, there's talk about the Expos going back up to Canada. That's a country, but going to Montreal. I think Charlotte's viable. I mean, I wouldn't touch Portland with a 10-foot pole myself.
Well, why can't you contract and then maybe relocate a couple?
Yeah, I think that's an option. I do.
You get the Rays... Yeah. Now, I would never take away the Pirates just because of their history, but you got to get somebody in there who could spend. It's as simple as that. They're not good. But the Rays, the Marlins, the A's, those are 3 teams.
But at least the A's have Vegas coming.
Yeah,
that beautiful stadium off the Strip.
I mean, I guess.
Have you seen the renderings for it, right? The digital renderings at this point is pretty sick.
Is Vegas going to play in baseball?
I mean, it's a smaller stadium, instead of going for that 50,000 monstrosity that had whatever it was at the Coliseum, it's going to be, I think, 34, 35. So more of a premium on seats, which should, with an increased revenue stream, should be fairly appealing. I don't really have the absolute answer for that. But think about this, too, because you nailed it. They don't care about what the sport looks like, because if you contracted, I'm with you conceptually, if you contracted 2 or 3 or 4 teams, whatever the number would be, well, then you wouldn't have those middling AAA arms who are in the majors. And
right.
I know it would get better, there's no doubt. Much like in the NFL, if you didn't stretch it out to 17 games and book it, it's coming. Eventually 18 games. You wouldn't have the first month of the season wouldn't be so lackluster because, it wouldn't take so long for the season to get going. There wouldn't be such a rash of injuries. So the NFL would be a better product. They don't care. We know this. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about our listeners. They care about the money. And the quicker everybody can understand that, the better off.
3 random questions when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan.
Well, these could be doozies. The last 3 are Q. All right, this winter, celebrate the joy of the season, Sal, in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated stylings of the Lyric.
Yeah, BT, and discover the comfort of the spacious 3-row Vistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
The other team, I guess, wins without playing is the New York Giants because now they have the number 1 draft pick this coming April.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute paid for by NHTSA. Drunk driving changes your world. Drive sober or get pulled over. The Colts are scrambling to save their season, and their answer is a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. Sure, you can't blame them for trying anything with their quarterbacks dropping like flies, but this move screams desperation. Rivers hasn't played since 2020. He's out of game shape. Instead of rescuing the Colts, this comeback could blow up on both Rivers and the team. I'm Maggie Gray.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Town Fair Tire honors any valid rebates, manufacturers or competitors' rebates. Yes, even any competitors' rebates. And we give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE. Back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back?
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. Roaring engines this year. Hess race cars are here.
The Hess stock car racers are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Hey, it's Brian Baldy here. At the Home Depot, Makita tools are built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts, who know the job's only done when it's done right. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year, performance that pays off. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Take the guesswork out of cooking, folks. The Chef IQ senses a must-have wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or over cooking chicken, fish, or steak. Order the newly released third-generation Chef IQ Sense at ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Experience the magic of the season in true Mercedes-Benz style during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Find the perfect Mercedes-Benz for yourself or someone special at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Katina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey, 1 legendary name, renowned for unmatched customer service, Ray Katina. Celebrate the season with exclusive holiday offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
It's Chuck Devine in Snow Country. Check off the wish list with instant savings and free battery offers on select steel tools. Shop online or in store. More fresh snow for Wednesday with a bit of a mix close to home and all snow further north, some accumulations too. The big-time snowmaking already has Camelback on 13 trails in the Poconos. Bel Air on an impressive 2/3 of their terrain, and Wyndham Mountain on more than a dozen slopes. Pack powder on a fast, firm base. Gore Mountain's 20 trails cover 10 miles in the Adirondacks, and Whiteface with 56 trails covering 14 miles. Jiminy's 8 slopes in the Berkshires cover 3 miles day and night. Stratton on 40 trails, Killington more than 60. Both have action for all abilities, nearly 50% of their terrain. Smuggler's Notch a couple dozen pack powder trails. Look for Shawnee and the Poconos, Mountain Creek, New Jersey, and Pike, Vermont on Friday. Mount Peter, New York, and Southington and Mohawk in Connecticut Saturday.
You don't just ski or ride, you dominate. At Killington, we fuel your adventure. Be the beast. Ski and ride Killington.
Good question. 3 random questions.
Let's find out.
With Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata.
1, 2, 3.
On The Fan.
3 random questions, sponsored by the Rothenberg Law Firm. Injured, visit injurylawyer.com.
I'm actually afraid of these today.
No,
not a whole lot to lose.
It's a standard. It's a standard for your queue. I thought that there might be a chance that the last time we
gotcha. So you emptied the tank a little bit the last time, and there were some tough ones.
What's the best thing about being married? What's the worst thing about being married? I mean, that's a pretty strong.
I hear you.
I figured that would be a good close. Anyway, here we are today. Number 1.
And you could ask me. Honestly, you could ask me anything you want.
Okay. I mean, I just have some fun. Nothing personal here stuff. I also don't want to get us in any trouble. We've done such a good job the last couple of weeks.
That's true. We have.
All right,
Pros.
Number 1. Would you take time? Would you rather take your free time to go back and rewatch shows or spend time on watching new ones? I had this before we even started talking about The Sopranos in my list, but I figured it would be topical today because we did talk about it. You only have so much time allotted to watch TV, especially with the sports, the way that we watch the sports, life with your kids and all that stuff. Would you, BT, yourself, allot that time for rewatching shows or start watching new ones?
I'm going to rewatch stuff. I am. Listen, you know me, and a lot of my fandom is driven through sentimentality. You know that? So I love that. Now, I will say, so that's my answer. Rewatch some old stuff. And it would have to be like epic, all-time old stuff.
Well,
and
it could even be Sopranos or...
Well, yeah, for sure. Like, The Sopranos and Rocky, easy stuff. But I would watch every Star Wars. I
like doing that, too, going back and watching those.
Yep, I would watch every Star Wars. And there's some
Harry Potter, were you into that?
Never once read the book, never got into it. My children aren't into it. You know what? I might actually introduce it to them. Somebody that I was hanging out with that I really good friends with, like, their children aren't into it either. And like, we coach together. Our sons play ball. This is my son's best friend. He's like, you know what? We're getting into it. I'm like, you know what? I might actually open up my narrow mind and introduce it to them as well.
During the pandemic, when there was nothing going on and I didn't have much work, I remember like, you know what? I've heard about this Harry Potter stuff forever. Let me dive into it. I think is there 8 movies? Is that right, Hoff?
Well, I couldn't even tell you.
But BT, I loved it.
Yeah, you said you liked them before.
I got into it, and I was like, wow, I'm really to a point where now that we're talking about it, I may go back and rewatch that.
You like it that much?
It was enjoyable.
Then that's encouraging.
I've only done it once. I would do it again. It was that good. I'm torn on this. My wife is the exact opposite of you and probably the majority of me. No time to rewatch anything. Already saw it, or she didn't even want to rewatch Wicked before we went to go see Wicked 2. And I was like, I love that movie so much, I want to go back and watch it. The Hunger Games, I love. You get into that at all? No.
You asked me that. No, I
would go back and watch those again. The problem is, I just don't have the time to dedicate. Even if you do have 3 hours to watch a movie, are you going to go back and do it for that versus watching new shows? So I'm kind of caught in between where it's got to take a really special show that I loved and the perfect storm of being able to dive into it. And then my wife not being around because I can't watch Hunger Games with her because she doesn't want to see the old stuff. She want to watch new stuff that's out.
Yeah, I'll tell you though, I've started watching some new stuff here. Obviously, all 4 parts of the Diddy doc. I'm into the Letterman interview.
Oh, that's on my list.
I watched last night with Kanye for a little bit after the Knicks game.
Was that an older one?
Yeah, it was an older one for sure. Yeah, Kim was still there. Yeah, that was older.
You ever watch Kanye West Genius on Netflix?
No.
You should watch that.
Yeah.
Because to me, I'm
not really into his music though. Outside of a couple songs.
Fair enough, but it's
I know he's a genius, but like not.
But it's more about everybody. He's one of my idols.
I know. You love him.
I'm not talking about obviously the
music.
Yeah, well, he's turned into a knucklehead.
He's out of his mind.
Like you can't get behind that. But he was told by everybody, no, not good enough. You're just a producer, never going to make it. And he blocked it out and said, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, and became bigger than all of them. Again, he had some issues, maybe a little bipolar.
Yeah, he talked about that with Letterman.
But I'm talking about just breaking through when you're told you're not good enough. And to keep fighting that with your belief in yourself, regardless
Respect.
Oh,
massive
my God.
respect for that. Anybody that does that.
And then
Any walk of life.
There's a scene in one of the episodes, I think it's like 3 episodes, where he's playing the music for Pharrell, who is of...
I know, of course.
Yeah, okay.
I know, yeah.
And he's playing his album, trying to get somebody to... And Pharrell hears it and is like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And that was the first time it was really like then starting to click where he's playing it. And like, oh my, dude, this is genius. You're going to blow up. He documented his entire rise. Anyway, that was really good. So yes, maybe some time to rewatch some of the old stuff on Netflix, but also the new stuff as well. All right, number 2. If you had tickets that let's say you get tickets to a thing, you're like, Sal, you want to come to the game with me, whatever. Or I get tickets for, like I had with Cadillac.
With the Isles when we went out there with the Mets with Cadillac,
whatever,
Rangers.
Anything like that. If you had tickets that you were going to offer somebody, would you let them know how good the seats were, good or bad the seats were, before you asked, or would you let them find out after they commit to your response?
Well, I mean, this is going to sound. I don't mean this to sound.
Here
the
we
way
go.
No,
I know where you're going with this.
Well, I don't mean this to sound the way it's probably going to sound. But like I knew, now I didn't know that you and Hoff. I'll just use you guys as the first example. I didn't know for sure that you guys would be on the court, the St. John's game. I knew you weren't going to be in the old Blues. Like I knew that. So no, I am not going to. First of all, if I'm asking you to come to a game, you're one of my best friends. You're somebody I want to hang out with, that I'm going to have a couple of drinks with, and 3, 4, 5 hours, maybe something to eat before, something after. So if I have to sell you to try to convince you to come with me based on the seat, then you don't fit the criteria that I need you to fit.
Bingo. That's what I wanted to say. Like I knew that they were good seats, but I didn't say anything like, "Oh, they're good seats." I just would send it, hey, you want to go to the Ranger game? And then see what people say. And then some people will write back, how are the seats?
Oh, well, no, some people are upfront and tacky with that.
Man.
Yeah,
how are the seats?
How are the seats? Here, they're free.
Yeah.
You coming or no?
Exactly. So any walk of life, it doesn't matter what type of seat or hookup. I just think in general, it shouldn't be the person you're asking, their interest should not be based on
predicated on, I agree. Now, what I will do once I get the immediate yes, and based on that smallish, unless there's just a logistical issue on one of the people that I might ask, the 9, 10, 12, 15 people I might ask, they would all say yes without knowing where the seats are. Once they say yes, then I'll get a little nerdy. I'll go to like the digital, maybe like the 3D seating chart. Say, hey, by the way, look at our view.
Yeah, let them get excited.
15 rows behind the dish at the stadium, or we're mid court at the Nicky, whatever it might be, which I've done before.
All right, last one for you. This is one I had on my list for a while. Sports related one.
Okay.
Are you a fan that immerses themselves in the pain of a loss, or do you avoid and ignore completely altogether afterward? I'll give you an example.
Okay. So I think I know what you know, but let me get the example.
For me, after the Falcons lost the Super Bowl in the fashion that they did, and that's just one example. This has happened throughout the course of my life. I immerse myself in it. I sat there and I watched the post-game coverage. I still couldn't believe it. But I watched it just for hours. Or if the Mets had a bad loss, I would listen to the fan and the next day and just immerse myself in the misery and pain of the loss. For some reason, for me, that was always therapeutic.
Boy, I was going to use the word therapeutic, too. I think before I got in the business, I was more inclined to do that because it was therapeutic. Listening to people on the station scream and yell and callers doing their job and ranting and raving, like it kind of got me through those days. Now, some of those days I was up at Marist. Some of those days I was in my car going to games. Some of those days I was on a construction site during a summer job in college. Like all these different snapshots of my life before I got into the business, I would immerse myself basically up to my neck, just to almost not self-loathing, but almost like go through it together and then eventually plow ahead. Like now, if the Jets lose the Super Bowl in 3 years, honestly, once the game's over, maybe I go on the deck and maybe I polish off one more drink and I smoke a cigar. Like I just have a little moment of whatever. I'm not watching 3 hours of coverage, chronicling what I just saw. No, I'm out.
I know people, I have friends that are like, whenever their team loses a tough loss, they don't want to listen to the radio. They don't want to watch the TV. They just try to, that's their way of dealing with it.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Sweep it under the rug and ignore it completely. For me, that was never, even to this day. Now, the losses don't hurt the way that they used to. Some sting a little bit, but I don't have that same connection or emotion that I once did when I was 20 years old or whatever, even 30, just immersing myself in the sadness and pain and misery of a tough loss.
Well, the Falcons' loss was also a little bit more complicated. If I recall, didn't you have an ex with you, right?
No, it was my wife brought her friend to our
that's
Super
what
Bowl
it
party.
was. That's what it was.
And they were
you
all-
hadn't really known the
she
friend
left.
yet, right?
Yeah, it was just
But
like
not great.
I mean,
you can't watch a game with that. Somebody like that.
I don't even think I was married at that point. We were engaged, but and my wife was sleeping. Her friend was long gone by then, and I was just sitting on the couch in the same spot watching it. Oh, the freaking Julian Edelman catch, the 2-point conversion, just immersing myself in it. Same thing with the Wainwright, Carlos Beltran.
Watching
that highlight.
Nasty
over and over
curveball.
again.
That was a good one.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll come back, get more of your calls in. 888-808-1019. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogut.
Wake up with Boomer and Gio. Mornings 6 to 10 on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish, your Sports Flash sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in New York. Baseball's winter meetings ending today. Unclear if the Yankees or Mets can pull off a big addition before leaving Orlando. Brian Cashman saying this morning the market is moving at, quote, glacial speed. Both locals have reportedly checked in on Kyle Tucker. Phillip Rivers is now officially on the Colts practice squad and will be on the practice field today. The NFL is letting him wear his usual number 17 since Daniel Jones is on IR and can't use it anymore this season. The Rangers skating in Chicago at 7:30 and local college hoops tonight. Iona hosting Bryant, Fordham hosting FDU. Both those games tipping shortly after 7. Fan weather is sponsored by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they're the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. And that fan weather. It is 39 degrees with some sun in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of the hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Steve Summers here and you there. All week long, WFAN giving away free tickets for my initial book signing at P&T Knitwear, the bookstore on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And don't forget, on Friday, I'll be on with Boomer and Gio at 9 a.m. right here on your Fan in New York City.
Once upon a time, Dunkin' made the perfect donut, and from its center came something even better. Dunkin' Munchkins, tiny bites of joy made from the dough they scooped right out of the middle. This holiday season, Dunkin' Munchkins remind us that even the smallest of things can mean the most, like laughing with friends or enjoying the last munchkin in the box. So grab a box of 3, 5, 25, or 50. Share them, gift them, or just keep them all to yourself. We won't tell. It's Dunkin' Munchkins, proof that something so small can be the best bite of all. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Beware the holiday buffering.
Who are you?
The ghost of Internet Past here to slow down right when your guests arrive.
Not this year. We got Verizon's 100% fiber optic home internet. Scored a limited time offer for $20 a month and locked in the price for 3 years.
Fios home internet, that's scary fast.
Now we can all stream, video chat, and game at the same time. So bye.
Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch to Fios home internet today. Fios 300 megabits per second plan at $20 a month with autopay. Any Verizon mobile phone plan and bonus discount. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for my home customers. Terms apply.
This is John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO of JAG Physical Therapy. 'Tis the gift-giving season, and you should remember to give a gift to yourself, the gift of health. As you know, driving long distances to see family members, trying to lift up the Christmas tree, decorate the house, you can get some pain and stiffness. But it doesn't have to be this way. JAG Physical Therapy is there to help whenever you need us. From our family to yours, we wish you a very happy holiday season, and we look forward to getting you back to life you love in 2026.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Heard bogus right there. BT was saying that the speed of the offseason moving at a...
Glacial.
Yeah, so now what does that mean?
Very slow.
Okay. So glaciers don't really...
No,
do they even move?
Yeah, of course, because a glacial or a glacier.
Yeah,
a glacier moves at a glacial speed. So he's obviously a smart guy. He went to Regis, so he used it properly. But when a glacier breaks away,
it's breaking away.
It moves ever so slowly through the body of water. Yeah.
Didn't the Titanic hit a glacier?
Yeah, it did. Well, yeah.
So, but the glacier,
it was an iceberg.
Iceberg. True.
Is that a different thing?
Well, that's what they called it. Iceberg.
Is a glacier different than an iceberg?
I think glacier is like the whole thing. Like I think a piece of it that falls off is considered like an iceberg.
Yeah, like think about a pizza pie. Like you have the pie and you have a slice.
Yeah.
So like the iceberg, the iceberg would be the pie and the slice would be the glacier.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
Got it. There you go.
Now, what if the pepperoni falls off the slice?
What is that?
I don't know.
Well, then Hoff reaches down and eats it.
Did you
That's
guys see
probably what
Titanic?
happens. Yeah, I love Titanic.
It's a great movie.
It's great.
I'd rewatch that one too, although it's very sad.
Wolf of Wall Street, I would watch over and over and over and over. You didn't love that?
Not only did I not love it, I hated that movie.
What? That is unacceptable.
Did you like that movie, Hoff?
It had its moments. Listen,
suck.
Margot Robbie.
Well,
first of all, top of the list, Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Top of the list.
Oh, not Jessica Alba, top of the list.
Oh, God. For me, I think she might be.
Over Jessica Alba?
When she's sitting on the floor, like, wearing those heels, and she's like, does Daddy, like, I'm not even going to do it. Has Daddy been a bad boy?
Go for it, Seems like you've watched that scene a couple of times.
I watched the movie a couple of times. Daddy's not going to get it. Has Daddy been a bad boy? Whatever she said, I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter what she's saying. Daddy will be a bad boy if he hasn't been a bad boy. Whatever you want. No, by the way, I just love the scene to me. It's one of the best acting scenes I've ever seen in any movie from any actor in my life.
Yeah.
When he takes like 9 Quaaludes and he goes to the country club to make the call. I'm forgetting his character's name. Don't use the phone. So he drives in the Lamborghini and he crawls up the steps and then he falls like. Quaaludes were like a drug in the 70s and 80s. I guess they've come back a little bit, but they basically...
Have they?
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I've heard that they have a little bit, maybe some form of that. But basically what they do is they are kind of like being intensely drunk. Intensely, like drunk times 100.
I don't like that feeling.
No, I don't like that feeling. No, that's... no, neither would
being
I.
Out of control?
I've never tried those at all. No, not even out of control. Like, you almost can't feel your body. And if you see him going down the stairs and crawling into the car and just how limp and loose his body was, that was amazing acting.
Yeah.
Amazing acting.
Well, wasn't he up for... And I was thinking this through. I might have actually watched that movie while I was at SNY, because I'm pretty sure we had the screener version of that.
Okay.
Remember, in the
Screen Actors Guild. I still get them.
In the same thing.
Yeah.
But back then, you were actually getting the hard copies.
Yes.
And I had time to kill after Baseball Night in New York or whatever early show I was on before Sports Night, and we would watch. Moose and I would do that a lot.
Okay.
Sit there and watch some movies. Maybe I saw it. Sometimes it depends on what mood you're in or where you saw a movie.
Yeah.
Your enjoyment or lack of enjoyment.
To an extent, I would never watch a movie at work, so that I can see why you kind of distracted. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm watching on a computer screen.
Nah, you can't watch
got
it
the
that way.
headphones on. I know maybe, my point is maybe that's why I didn't like it as much as you liked it.
I loved it.
I know, but
I loved it.
Maybe it was the drugs thing.
When he's on the yacht and the agents come on and he's just like flinging $100 bills when he kicks them off the yacht. It's just amazing. Plus, I love Wall Street. Like, I love the original Wall Street. I worked on Wall Street for a minute. And I appreciate that, like that.
You worked on Wall Street?
I did.
Doing what?
I worked at Fidelity. Well, I worked at Fidelity in the IRA department when I was trying to get into radio. So when I graduated college,
I don't even know what that means. IRA department?
Yeah, like investment stuff.
Okay, but were you given advice?
No. I was inputting a lot of stuff into the computer. Like people would have when you have contributions, monthly contributions. Obviously, the IRS determines, much like a 401k. There's limits. Like 17,000 is the most you could do with 1 year, and then maybe it goes up to 17.5 or 8, whatever it might be. Same increments with there's Roth, there's different whatever. I knew what I was doing enough to be there. Not that much.
I didn't know you worked on Wall Street.
Well, I might be there again.
Construction, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't.
How about that? Opposite. Yeah, look at that.
I didn't know
construction, and then making people money.
I worked in a supermarket. I worked at King Kong. That was a supermarket. Or I worked at Home Depot. I did not work at Wall Street. I stuck to one. I went from that to this. I did not do the Wall Street.
The best part of working at Wall Street, God, this is so long ago. This is really when I got out of school, and I was just doing it as a bridge to get on the radio, which is impossible. When you're trying to convince somebody to give you a microphone and pay you, it's like trying to be an actor. As you know, it's impossible, really.
I'm learning.
Well, and I'm 20, whatever, just out of Marist, playing at Marist, and I played on the Fidelity softball team in the Wall Street Softball League. Dude, I felt like A-Rod. Man.
I'm sure you did.
22, 23, showing up, throwing darts from shortstop. I loved it, man. Then going for beers after. It was a lot of fun.
BT and Sal, the Fan, or Fred's at Town Fair Tire. Remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Let's go back to the calls. Brendan is in Mineola. What's up, Brendan?
What's up, guys? Great show as always. I just want to talk about Stearns. I think his approach is the problem. Free agency. Before that, though, the fact you guys didn't see Rambo is crazy. Growing up in the 80s, Rambo 2, Vietnam, he's saving POWs, killing people with knives, arrows, machine guns.
I know.
You got to go home and watch that.
I don't think there's any doubt that
3.
I hear you. That's a fair criticism. Honestly, I didn't see Breaking Bad. Don't even get into why. But
that's one you should probably invest in.
That's unacceptable. If you didn't see Entourage,
Rambo 2 is where Rambo 2 is where Stallone really became a big action hero, like the crazy action hero. After that, it was on. It was such a good movie.
So if we have to go back and watch it, you say Rambo 1 and 2, or you have to watch all 5?
Rambo 1 is just a great movie.
Yep.
Rambo 2 is like where the Rambo really takes over. Rambo 3 was good, but it's really... One's a great movie. 2 is just like, wow, this is where Sly Stallone became a real action hero.
Brendan, real quick.
It might be on Netflix.
Is it, I'm sure it's on Netflix. It's got to be. You can get it easy. No, but real quick, Brendan, before we get to the other Stern stuff. So I want to give you, I think, the most underrated Stallone movie. And Sal, I'm going to guess that you have not seen this movie. You ready? Lock Up. You guys ever see Lock Up?
No.
Nobody? Brendan, did you see it?
Say Copland.
No,
I've not
I did
seen
not.
Lock Up.
I think Cliffhanger's underrated.
Okay, underrated. Good old school underrated Stallone movie. Yep.
I got to find.
I'll definitely watch it.
I'm gonna go, and thank you for the call, Brendan. Oh, I forgot he wanted to get a Stearns point in it. I'm sorry about that. Forgot. Give us a call back. Maybe next week.
Soon.
That's a good point. I'm trying to see where you can stream Rambo because I do want to dive into that.
Me too.
I just out of the. You're right. It is a bad job by us for years hearing the references in pop culture and Rambo and just never taking the time to watch it. But you a little bit worse than me because I was younger.
Yes.
The first one came out in what, 82?
Was it that early?
I was 3 years old.
I'm saying, I'm asking, was it really 82?
I believe so because I was just looking it up now.
Earlier than I thought. I would have said more 80. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
And then if it came out, I'm seeing one came out in 2008. I guess
they said that was the
remake or whatever. Anyway, point is that when I was even, let's say, 10 years old, it's not like my parents are going to be letting me watch Rambo, I wouldn't think, at 10.
I watched whatever I wanted back then. Like, watching rated R movies back then, you just go to Blockbuster and you get like 9 videos. Like, I know Hoff did this as well.
Right, but you know what I'm talking about. For a young kid to watch a gory action shoot-'em-up movie like that, a little bit different. I watched Major League when I was 8 or 9.
Okay.
With all the curses.
A couple of words.
Major League was rated R.
Was it really?
Yeah.
But no real sexual content. What? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe at the end when he rips off her skirt with his cleats when he drives up
in bed with a woman when he was playing in the Mexican League or whatever.
Yeah, that's where he just wakes up more drunk, more about his stupor than the night before.
What about Charlie Sheen and Dorn's wife?
Yeah, they had a little something going on. That's true. Yeah, okay.
I remember all these as an 8-year-old.
That's great. There you go. Great movie. So I would say this. I'm going to take the L on Rambo. I'm going to jump into it at some point. But when I was young, and I know you were this way as well, like I just didn't. I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of 1982, 8 years old. And not 8, still 8. And I'm like, it's just, I don't know, like in the jungle and killing people.
Right, not
like,
interested.
I played wiffle ball every day. I played Star Wars figures every day when I was young. We played tag and do all, but I just it didn't appeal to me like that kind of, I don't know. It didn't jump off the screen, so I didn't want to see it, really.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Joey Clams from Brooklyn talking about his Yanks. What's up, Joey?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Rock, remember what I told you? Would you tell me? Take her to the zoo.
Yes.
50th anniversary of Rocky's coming up.
50th?
Yeah.
When is that?
1976. I was 11 years old. Went to the Walker movie theater on 65th Street and 18th Avenue.
I didn't even realize that. So next year, huh?
Years.
Wow.
50. And let me tell you something about the 70s. The 70s was the best decade of movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Slapshot,
Nicholson.
Warriors.
Maybe, you know what it may have been?
Yeah,
How about Joey? How about like some Escape from New York? Like some of those Vigilante, the Warriors. Those were from the 70s, right? Late 70s.
I can't get into the 70s movies. I got to be honest.
I love them. What's that?
French Connection.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, Joe, the best thing about the 70s movies, the ones that were done in New York, and a lot of them were, there was a grit, and you know this, Joe, because you grew up here, and you're a little bit older than we are. Like the 70s in New York, the depiction of that, like in anything since and in real time, I find it so fascinating. I really do.
Did you love Staying Alive?
Yeah, of course I love Staying Alive.
Hoff was just saying
Saturday Night Fever.
Love it.
Yeah, Hoff.
Saturday Night Fever broke everything. Forget about it.
Is that what it's called? Saturday Night Fever.
Well, the Saturday Night Fever, the end of Staying Alive.
Saturday Night Fever. Hoff was making fun of it in my ear. I was like, I don't think
making fun of it. Like I love it. I love it. The soundtrack's still good to this day. Shit, what are you shaking your head at?
The Tramps.
Because the 70s are just so brutal.
Oh, God
They're so
almighty, this
embarrassing.
guy.
I would, like, 80s have their embarrassing.
That came out of
the 80s have embarrassing moments, too, but the 70s with the disco is just so bad.
I love the
bell
old
bottoms
disco.
and
I'm a
everything.
big disco guy. Come on.
We can tell Joey Clan.
Joe the Cougine.
We still got the reunions going on.
What's your Yankees point? Let's get the show back on track while we can. Go ahead, Joey.
Okay. Yeah, this Yankee lineup, if you look at it now, BT, you got Grisham, Judge, Rice, Stanton if he's there, Chisholm,
McMahon.
And then you're going Dominguez, you're going Wells, you're going McCann, and then Cavallero.
Yep.
And, McMahon.
And then you're going home.
They're two. And exactly. They're two switch hitters, can't bat righty. They're going into a beauty contest with crooked teeth and pimples. And their defense is terrible.
I like that.
Joey,
well, I don't know if
what
I'd say
an
that.
interesting guy
Thank you for the
he
call,
is.
Joey. I don't know if I'd say their defense is terrible, but obviously that lineup is just not. I mean, it's good enough for 94 wins in a postseason and probably a quick exit again.
I mean, listen, McMahon plus defender, Judge plus defender. I really think Grisham took a little bit of a step back, but whatever. But still, at least on the very least, solid. Left field could be a mess depending upon if Bellinger's there. It's obviously borderline elite. If he's not, I mean, Jazz is going to make plays, but he's going to be in space half the time. Rice has a lot to prove. Wells rates very well metrically. You might not want to hear it, but he does behind the plate. Okay. So I would say defensively that the Yankees are fine. I have no problem with their defense. They got to get some righty sticks, and they got to keep a few guys
with
too.
Bellinger back. Without Bellinger, then I could see how you would. I don't think their defense is great. I wouldn't focus on that saying their defense isn't any good. I think that they need a change of the lineup. We talked about the Mets needing to change their core. The Yankees need to change their lineup. Nico Horner would be the perfect type guy. That's a Quan, perfect type guy. There are guys available via trade, aren't mashers, just solid contact guys that play excellent defense. That is what I would be looking to do if I were the Yankees.
I don't disagree. I really don't.
They have the power.
Yeah. Now, yes, they do. You can't build a team with this fear, but I am still a little worried about Judge's elbow. And that's not even for today. That's just something to monitor. It's
but
not
he played, what, you worried about his arm? Meaning defensively?
Yeah, I'm worried about it going. I'm worried about that. I don't know how a Yankee fan swept that under the rug. He missed a month of time. Now he got his velocity back. When he came back, he actually threw a ball. I remember saying this on the air, from right field, 79 miles an hour. He's usually 93, 94, basically mid-90s. I mean, so he basically just lobbed it. There were a couple of times, and if you watch this, where Jazz, as the cut, would go out an extra 15 or 20 feet. That's a high school cut, not a major league cut. So there were concessions and changes built around his lack of arm strength. It came back. I'm not worried about it being there day one. But, you have an injury to that ligament, that area. That worries me.
BT and Sal on the fan. Antonio's in Manhattan. What's up, Antonio?
Hey.
What's up, guys, man? I'm really upset, man. Like, super upset. About you guys. That's like a joke. But, I can't believe that you guys have the best show, and now it's gone. Like, that's ridiculous because
we appreciate
of one guy or whatever.
No, we don't need to get... we appreciate it, Antonio.
Thanks, Ant.
Anyway, but look, as far as Diaz, I think there's a trend here. And you have Lindor, he's upset at Soto. Diaz, he wanted to rob the Mets. I think it all comes down to me. This is me, just my opinion. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. And I think that it has to do with Soto. Again, Diaz, Lindor, they're upset that Soto, he got all that money. So I think it has to do with that. And look, and it has to do again the whole. I don't want to get into that Puerto Rican, Dominican stuff. They basically now envy Soto because he's getting all that money, and I think he got. Going to rob the Mets because they pay Soto this much. I want $100 million. Look, the Mets could have given him more money. Okay, he left the Mets. So if Mets fans they want to say, "Oh, it was Stearns," no, it wasn't Stearns. Look, and I admired his discipline, Stearns. And the thing is, you know what? Let him walk. It was Diaz left. It wasn't the Mets. It was him. He left. All right. And I just want these players for Christmas: Fairbanks, Pete, Stephen Kwan, Ranger Suarez.
Is that it?
I think King. He'll probably. I think he's almost a Met. That's what I think. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens with you guys.
Thanks, man.
We're not dying, and thank you for the call. At least not that I think of. Thank you for the call, Antonio. Yeah, I think there was a lot there. I would rather have the Peralta McGill trade instead of all the other things that you said.
I like Fairbanks.
It did. Yeah, I'm okay with Fairbanks. I'm fine with him. And then you'd have Fairbanks, Williams, Minter, Raley. Yeah. Not a bad back end. And those things I'm less concerned about the bullpen, more concerned about the rotation and the lineup. That's
as you should be.
And
you absolutely should be.
I've always been like that with any team. The Yankees rebuilt their entire bullpen in season.
They picked up Cruz from the Reds, who's in his mid-30s with that nasty splitter, who I like. Obviously, you got Bednar. Now, Cruz was with him earlier, meaning they got him at the start of the season, but it was somebody that they just picked up who hasn't had an extensive major league career, who found the nasty splitter and is pretty valuable. They needed a closer. They got Bednar. He was really, really, really good. I mean, not Mariano, nobody is, but he's top 5, top 6 closers. He's good. So you can always kind of adjust on the fly there, but you need the requisite sticks and you need a couple of horses in the rotation.
The bullpen should be the easiest thing to fix in season. Even the Mets last year, they got Helsley and Rogers. Now, it didn't work out with Helsley, but they got 2 big-time Helsley was one of the best closers
that other teams wanted.
Yeah.
And they got him.
He was one of the best closers on the market. Now, they screwed up not doing their due diligence, the tipping pitches, whatever it may be. Point is, they went out and added to a bullpen that already had Diaz, one of the best arms available in Helsley, and then Rogers as well. So you could do that again. I don't need 4 or 5 guys in the back end of the pen before the season gets started. I like to leave some wiggle room there for guys that you maybe want to add because certain guys aren't going to perform up to their standards or they get hurt.
Listen, I think the one thing that people have to understand is there's the reaction when something first happens, and then there's the reaction once you get enough evidence to either change your opinion or just double down on what you thought going in. And I remember, and we're going to see him at his party next week. It's going to be a blast when we go to Alex's party. I was at lunch with Alex when the Mets and the Yankees were making the trades for these relievers in real time. And I remember, obviously talking to him about it, but then getting in my car and dropping a little tweet. And I thought that Stearns and Cashman both crushed it in terms of the deadline stuff and making sure the bullpen was really good. So while Helsley was about as bad as it gets, he was awful. And Rogers started well and then kind of flamed out as well. real reaction, I thought the Mets got two really valuable pitchers. It didn't work out. But to your point, you could always do something in June or in July before the deadline ends to get a guy like that, because there's a lot of bad teams that do not feel the need, why would they, to keep a reliever, maybe not the ninth inning, but a higher leverage seventh, eighth inning reliever. Why would you keep that guy around if you're going to win 76 games? You wouldn't. So they're always available.
Two things to get to when we come back. Number one, we're going to have the Steve Summers ticket giveaway for his book signing. Number two, I have a question about the A-Rod party. You mentioned it. It made me think of something. I have a question to get to you when we come back. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on The Fan.
The home of the NFL on Westwood One is WFAN.
Looking for the end zone.
The first place Bucks are hungry for another NFC South win, taking on the Falcons in Tampa. 8:15 tomorrow night.
Touchdown!
Thursday night football is on The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Odyssey apps.
FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, from points and rebounds to threes and assists. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join, because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/GO, that's GIO, to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/GO. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. We just love the app around here. It's safe and secure. When you win, you get paid instantly. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of WFAN, 21 and over and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Venture out and look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
See Kia dealer for warranty details. Event ends 1/2/26.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/life.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
Brees Hall, the I-back, at the 5-yard line. Handoff, Brees Hall finds a crease, runs left. He's into the end zone for a Jet touchdown. Jets fans, come out to MetLife Stadium for a Week 17 divisional matchup. See the New York Jets host the New England Patriots Sunday, December 28th at 1 p.m. Presented by Ticket Ticketmaster. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Experience the magic of the season in true Mercedes-Benz style during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Find the perfect Mercedes-Benz for yourself or someone special at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Katina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey, 1 legendary name, renowned for unmatched customer service, Ray Katina. Celebrate the season with exclusive holiday offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. Hey, schmooze lovers, be caller number 66 right now, 866-540-WFAN. That's 866-540-9326 for your chance to win a pair of Ducats to see Steve Summers at his special Me Here, You There book signing. That's the meet and greet and Q&A discussion live at P&T Knitwear on Manhattan's Lower East Side. It all goes down on Monday, December 15th at 6 p.m., courtesy of the schmooze himself, Steve Summers. To purchase tickets, visit eventbrite.com, BRITE.com. Love Steve.
Schmoozeroo?
Oh, he's the best, man. I had so much fun talking with him. And honestly, BT, as much fun as I had doing the show with you and being on middays, like that's an honor and a dream come true. My fondest memories, I've talked about this before, was coming up through the ranks, behind the scenes, back in Astoria, working with Summers and Bob Husler and all the guys behind the scenes and watching those games together. Oh, man.
I can see that.
That is I was making no money, didn't care.
I could see that.
It was where I wanted to be. It was the most important thing to me in my life. God, I love that with every fiber of my being. So obviously we love Steve and wish him luck with this. So you guys will be able to win tickets all week long with that. All right, so I told you I had, what did I say? I had 2 questions.
You told me you had 1. Did you? Second question about it? It was about Alex's party. Was 1.
Oh, maybe the other thing was the Summers giveaway. The question about the A-Rod party. So you mentioned, all right, we're going to this party on whatever, Saturday the 20th.
Yeah.
You're like, we'll talk to him there. Well, are we? I know, but do we have how much FaceTime are we really going to have with the man of the hour? You know what I mean? I'm assuming everybody there is going to want a little piece of A-Rod. Yeah, I've never met him in person before, so I'm looking forward to it.
You haven't, yeah. I would say whatever presents itself. I think. I mean, it really depends. I am curious. Like, does he answer the door?
Right.
I mean, if he answers the door, I think, then I introduce him to my wife, obviously,
right.
and then, of course, I'm sure he'll be a gentleman and spend a couple of minutes with us, and then, but as the host of the party and his girlfriend, they'll bounce around and do their thing. I know, or I'm pretty sure Michael Kay will be there. A lot of people.
You're going to have to introduce me to him.
I will. Rob Manfred was there last year. I told you that, despite the legal issue with Alex and Manfred back in the day.
I get nervous about these things, man.
Don't get nervous. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? It's a big deal.
What do you mean? It's a party, dude. Relax.
No, I'm more of a hermit. I'd rather just be home and do nothing. I did get a nice outfit for it, though.
You were telling me. You went.
Well, you never know what opportunities might present themselves. You want to be looking your best.
No, that's true. That's true. I think you may have done it up a little bit much.
Me?
Maybe look a little desperate. Maybe a little too much.
What do you mean?
I mean, you wearing the tie. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, what do you mean a lot of stuff going on?
What'd you get? Like a corduroy suit? You told me?
Yeah. Well, I looked up. I was getting advised by some friends who I trust with their fashion advice.
Okay.
And
who? Evan Roberts?
No, not Evan Roberts. Believe me, nobody here. Some of the people that I work with over at SNY.
Yep.
Let's put it that way.
Yep.
And they were advising me on some things, and I showed this, and they loved the idea. So I'm going to trust her expertise on it as opposed to yours. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bust out a nice turtleneck. I can tell you that right now.
100%.
Turtleneck with a nice jacket, pocket square.
So why is a corduroy suit?
No, I'm just messing with you. Not just. It's unique though, like a corduroy suit. Not just the corduroy jacket, the whole corduroy suit.
Well, it's just corduroy pants.
I'm just saying,
jacket.
you're diving in deep. Like,
and I don't even like corduroy. Like, the material gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I like corduroy. I do.
Really touching the corduroy material?
I don't mind it.
I don't know if I have some texture issues
but
or what.
You just spend, what, $700 on a suit that you don't like?
No, not that much. Maybe like $500.
All right, so you just spend $500 on a suit of the texture that you don't like.
Yeah, I don't like the feel of it. I wanted to get what was it? It said holiday festive attire.
Cocktail.
Okay.
Not holiday. Cocktail.
Cocktail holiday attire.
Yeah,
is what it said.
Yeah.
So I believe that's it.
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Plus, A-Rod is as sharp a dresser as there is.
Oh, I mean, it also helps when you're 6'3", absolute
chiseled. I know.
Yoked.
Millions upon millions. You could wear that.
Even lost like 20 pounds. I read an article on him. I guess his girlfriend's very much into fitness and stuff. Yeah. So he shed 20 pounds. He's leaning out.
I mean, come on. The guy likes to go shirtless in Central Park.
He does.
I mean, what do we?
Yeah, right on the rock. I remember blasting. This is a true story. I remember blasting him for that picture, right? On my old show on 1050. I'm like, what a cornball. This guy, I was pissed.
Did you delete those from the internet?
No, when I went to lunch with him, that's one of the first things he referenced. He's like, you called me a cornball back in the day. He does his research. He's as sharp as it gets. I had to own it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Is that why you called me here, to kill me? I mean, am I Coach Joe Pesci to gun to the back of the head?
I would say we have under 2 minutes total FaceTime with him at that party.
I completely disagree.
Okay.
Lock of the week taking the over. Absolutely.
Really?
And by the way, who's hot in terms of bets? Your boy.
You're on
back
fire.
To
that
back
is true.
To back.
3 straight perfect parlays.
Yes.
The final of which will come Friday. BT and Sal on the fan 8888. See if you could really pull away, or if I could get back in the.
I'm going to pull away. I think one thing that you're really omitting, and you're selling yourself short here, right? And this is important. You're looking at and I understand why you're doing it because I'm curious too. But you're overwhelmed by the invitation. Maybe not overwhelmed, but you're very much taken back by Alex inviting you to his party. Okay, which it's Alex, and then it's you.
Because I like where this
Alex,
is going.
And then it's me.
You remind me who I am. Remind me. Hit me with it.
Yeah. What you're not factoring in is that he wants us there.
I get it.
So.
We belong.
I
know, but there's a part of me
maybe on the lower level of the scale we belong. But I mean, maybe we just got in. Maybe we just made the cut. The 53-man roster.
My whole life, I was led to believe and feel like I didn't belong. Oh, that's too hard. You'll never do that. And I like that. I play better as an underdog. Chip on my shoulder as the underdog. You tell me you don't think I'm good enough for something. Okay, great. Now I'm going to show you why you're wrong. So I like that.
Don't lose sight of the mindset.
But when I go into a situation like that, where it's like, well, this is A-Rod. I'm not I'm obviously joking around.
I know you're joking around.
I'm not going to be intimidated. I've been in situations like that. I've played up a little bit, but I'm excited and intrigued. I've really never been to one of this magnitude.
This is up there for me too. I'd be lying if I said no. But listen. That's the good thing about him. And I told him, I'm like, I wish you kind of showed this side when you were playing here a little bit more. He's just a dude. I know the home runs, the money, owns the Timberwolves, Jennifer Lopez, Kate Hudson, all the stuff. He's a guy who loves baseball. Gonna have a couple drinks, gonna talk shop.
I know, and ultimately I do feel bad for him after watching that documentary. Like we said, it's crazy to have a guy that has all of that, but yet still feel sorry for him because of the Hall of Fame. And forget even the Hall of Fame, which may not be realistic for him, sadly.
Yep.
I mean, if Bonds and Clemens don't get in, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen, he's never getting in.
Agreed.
Maybe never say
I think
never.
they're all lumped together. Not forever, but they are connected.
Well, hopefully in his lifetime,
yeah.
he gets it. The more maybe realistic thing is also something I don't think is going to happen where, let's say, Monument Park or have his number with. That would mean the world to him.
Yeah.
And he was on the last Yankee championship team.
I know.
He was huge then.
No, I never
looked at him as an all-time great Yankee myself, but maybe it could have just been lost of, hating the Yankees all those years.
I also thought the Yankees were so amazing for so many years. It was easy to take some of the exploits of certain players for granted.
Right.
That's the other thing, too.
But
A-Rod's won multiple MVPs as a Yankee.
Forget the number retirement from the Yankees. He should be in Monument Park.
I agree with that.
At the very least.
I agree. And but you started by saying that you feel sorry for him in that regard. And I know what you mean, because things that I've said this even before I got to know him a little bit. I don't think anybody loves baseball the way Alex does. I really, truly, I can't prove it. I truly believe that with all my heart. He loves baseball. But I don't feel sorry for him. You know why? Because I think where he's at now is better. if he didn't and this was in the episode, so I'm not talking out of school, like the deep psychoanalysis that he went through to change and to figure out, from his dad leaving and his relationship with people and how when you get to a certain level, you think you're impenetrable, nothing could take you down. He's been humanized, and I think that and I always thought he was a good person. Now coupled with him addressing some of his issues, I think he's a great person.
Agreed, and I bet you he wouldn't trade that for almost anything. How much he loves the game, how much he loves the Yankees. I
still don't think he traded. You talk about daughters and relationships.
Yeah,
I don't think he would.
I don't know if he'll.
Yeah, we'd love to have both.
I don't know if he'll ever. He said this too. I don't know if it might have been an interview with your guy Stephen A. Smith, as a matter of fact, recently.
Yeah, I saw him sit down with Steve. Yeah.
Say how he believes he should be a Hall of Famer. It was the question asked him. He wasn't being selfish about it. Bonds was in there as well, but he was talking about, yes, I think I should be in the Hall of Fame. But I really do get the sense that even more than that, he wants to be welcomed back by the Yankees. Even forget about Monument Park or number retired. Just bury the hat. Like, the Yankees need to just bury the hatchet. And as long as Cashman's there, I don't feel like that's going to be a realistic thing for them. But they really do need to, at some point, come to peace with A-Rod and have him back and have him be honored in some kind of way.
And I think in some kind of way they will. But even if they don't, so we're in our studio for now. Look to your left, number 13. It's hanging. It's hanging. There's one outside the American flag, right? And the old Tiki and Tierney backdrop, that's behind us where you can't see Tiki's name because they made it wrong 3 years ago. Oh, Spike loved it when I was complaining about that on the air.
I'm sure that went over well.
I didn't like that too much. And the FAN on SNY signage, like there's one real acknowledgement to one player in all of New York sports, and it's the A-Rod thing. And, I think you'd really have to ask the Yankee fans about that, and I'm one of them. So I think I feel comfortable speaking for them now. I think every Yankee fan is cool with A-Rod. Now, I think that bridge has been crossed. That what I thought was irreparable damage for some, I think it has been emotionally repaired. Now, I'm not saying there aren't a lot of people who are still more Jeter than Alex. I'm not saying that at all. But there's not a Yankee fan that doesn't appreciate that guy, because without that, we don't even have 09.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll get back to your calls on the other side. 888-808-1019.
It's Boomer and Gio. Mornings on the Fan. 1019 FM.
That's really what I need to see, is them getting their future quarterback, where they end up at the end of the year. Darren Mucci building this roster. They don't have enough players. And I also think that, right now, I evaluate the coaching staff as like a D.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The NFL might be eyeing Marcus Freeman, but Notre Dame needs to lock him down. And honestly, he should stay. He's 43-12, a title game coach, and the Irish are ready to pay him like one of the best in the country. But the real reason to stay, next year's likely expanded playoff makes Notre Dame's path way easier. With the door about to swing wide open, Freeman is positioned to dominate. Leaving now would mean walking away just as the road to the college football playoff clears. I'm Maggie Gray.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
This year's Farmer's Almanac warns of a harsh, super snowy winter. So take control of the wet, snowy, and icy conditions with a new set of Bridgestone winter tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services for life with your purchase of Bridgestone winter tires. For the guaranteed lowest price on Bridgestone winter tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
I love elves. Hard workers, cheery bunch, but they can sure wreck a bathroom. Lucky Luckily, someone's always ready on short notice to save Christmas. The fine folks at Roto-Rooter.
Coast is clear, Santa.
Thank you. You may want to stick around. Santa needs to get in there. And away goes trouble down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
Now get out of my bathroom.
Celebrate the season at American Dream. Meet Santa, shop, play, and explore over 25 attractions, all just minutes from Manhattan. Plan your holiday at AmericanDream.com.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture. And then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This winter, celebrate the joy of the season in a new all-electric SUV from Cadillac. Make every drive exciting with the innovative technology and optic. Arrive confidently with the sophisticated styling of Lyric and discover the comfort of this spacious 3-row Bistic. Experience EV luxury like never before at the season's best sales event. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Operating engineers Local 825 are the men and women who make our region move. So whether it's roads, bridges, or our favorite team stadium, they build and maintain the critical transportation, water, and energy infrastructure we rely on. That's why their advocacy organization, ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, fights for those priorities every day. That's ELEC, representing the signatory contractors and the hardworking men and women who build both New York and New Jersey.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
All right, BT and Sal back on The Fan, 1245. We got you till 2. That's Evan and Tiki. We'll get back to the calls, 888-808-1019. A lot of hot stove stuff. Maybe squeezing a little Knicks from last night. Brunson was money. Not that I'm really into the cup. But hey, you have a big game. You want to win it. The Knicks pasted the Raptors. Knicks are playing well. But right now, it is time for the Johnny's Report, brought to you by Sullivan Papain. New York strong from the court to the community. Remember the name, Sullivan Papain. We do it once a week here on the BT and Sal show. So here's the thumbnail sketch for the Johnnies. It's going to start heating up pretty soon. St. John's 5-3. They started the season number 5. I think they were ranked a little bit too high based on Rick and the transfer portal. Right? They lost a couple of tight ones, all to ranked teams, Bama, Iowa State, and Auburn. They've had a good schedule. I know you know this, I was at the Bourbon Street in Queens on Monday.
Yeah, I've heard about that place. You said it was great.
It's awesome, a lot of fun. I've done a couple of the St. John's NIL events there. I was there Monday with Oziah Sellers and Dylan Mitchell. And just like what they were projecting about the team defense is what I needed to hear. St. John's could score with anybody in the country. They're top 5 metrically in many of the offensive categories. And before the other night, they were putting up basically 95 points a game. While I was surprised they struggled a little bit with Ole Miss on Saturday, they did win. They won 63-58. And to me, that was good. I'd rather win, and I said this to the guys, because I was interviewing, I said, I'd rather win 63-58, ugly, muck it up. It's a character game. The new players need to learn how to play defense under Rick. What's required, what he demands. And I personally think somebody like Sannon, who came from Arizona State, who's a great shooter. Ian, not yet, but he is. Ian Jackson from Carolina. He's played well in spurts. There's more coming. I think the new guys are just struggling a bit to find out their defensive rhythm. I think when it clicks, and it will, I think St. John's is going to be terrific. You guys know that. So Saturday, Iona, I'll be there at the Garden with Mink. Looking forward to that. And then Tuesday, the following Tuesday, the Big East opener, DePaul in Queens, 7 p.m. And that is the Johnny's Report, brought to you by Sullivan Papain. New York strong from the court to the community. Remember the name, Sullivan Papane.
BT and Sal on the fan. Let's take some phone calls here, BT. 888-808-1019. We're talking a lot of free agency, hot stove, all the baseball stuff at the winter meetings. Anthony is in Fort Lauderdale. What's up, Ant?
Happy holidays, guys.
You too, Ant.
Okay, I want to discuss the Mets. I want to ask you guys a very important question, and I hope you can be as candid as possible. Okay?
Yeah.
Who's replacing, in your opinion, who's replacing the home runs produced by Nimmo and Alonso, which equals 63?
Yep.
And a combined RBIs of 218.
Yeah.
Who's going to do that?
Nobody. And
I mean, 2 or 3 guys would be the answer.
My answer's always been, and this goes back to what
I'm talking about at this time right now. Who's available?
I understand, but I'm going to give you my opinion. Forget about, they'll find players, okay? They'll get players. What I said when I first thought that Pete could be gone at some, like a year and a half ago, and maybe on some level should be, I never once said, because this would be idiotic. Nobody's going to come in and hit 40 home runs like Pete. Not with the power frequency but you can become a better team, higher average, fewer strikeouts, better defensively. Nimmo, left fielder. I know we stole some bases last year, but some more steals, Pyre on base, better arm. You're not going to replicate what you lost, but you could still get better, Ant.
Okay, let me ask you this. I agree with you, but I need to ask you, I know it's hard to get into Stearns' head, but based on your experience, you guys have a lot of experience, okay? And you've been around the block, okay? Do you think Stearns thinks that Carson Bench and Jet Williams or Vientos and Mauricio are going to produce those kind of numbers?
Those numbers, no, but I think that Stearns believes, let's say, Carson Bench could come up and help the ball club win games.
Okay, but would you think it would be foolish to believe that Carson Bench can even... I don't even think he can duplicate Nimmo's numbers.
But Ant, you're worried about the numbers. That's the wrong thing. You shouldn't be focused on the numbers because it's not going to be 1 for 1.
Well,
it's
the
not
numbers produce runs. That produces runs.
The numbers produce 83 wins. It's not good enough. The team wasn't good enough. So
the pitching was the problem too. We didn't even get into that yet. The pitching.
Yeah, but they're going to get pitchers. Here's the thing. I can guarantee you the Mets will have a left fielder and a center fielder and a first baseman. I guarantee you they will fill that. Now, when you take those 3, even with Nimmo and Alonso potentially, we don't even know Pete's gone yet, but even with potentially Pete leaving and Nimmo gone, there will be players in their place that will be positive players that will help offset some of the loss. You're not going to have a negative outfielder in left field. You're not going to have a negative defender at first base. Who knows the exact numbers pound for pound, but between the 3 of those guys, they have to play winning baseball to help the Mets win. Otherwise, Stearns going to get ripped. I mean, that's the bottom line, and thank you for the call, Ann. They've got to win games. But it's not just, well, do the math, and Nimmo does this, and Alonso does this. How are you replacing that even with 3 different players? There are ways to do it.
Forget about Bench, forget about Williams. I'm going to put them aside. I haven't seen them play yet. I'm going to look at Beatty. I'm going to look at Vientos, who we brought up. He didn't bring up Beatty. I'm going to bring him in, factor him in as well, and Mauricio. All right. Vientos is not a David Stearns kind of player. He's not. He can't run, can't field. Not his kind of player, period. Mauricio, and I'm certainly up to debate these, but I'm just trying to move it along here. Mauricio, to me, he worries me. And I'm not even talking about his speed, which I don't like at all. He does not look, and I've dived into some of the numbers, so I can support that. But just the eye test, he's not very explosive. He's actually slow. But more issue to me is how lost he was on off speeds and curves.
He definitely needs more seasoning. I believe in the potential, but he needs more seasoning.
Okay, fair enough. I can even meet you there. I'm not giving up because before he ripped up his knee, he was highly thought of. I get it.
Now, if they trade him, whatever.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to if you're going to get something good.
Bottom line is, I would not rely on him to be a contributor, certainly to start the year this year at the Major League level.
Me neither. There are players that come up that show a skill set that I'm like, whether it's on the Yankees, Mets, or other teams, I'm like, I like that player, even if they're not quite ready. My instincts tell me there's very few major league hitters who come up and swing over curveballs by 1.5 feet, which he did. And Met fans, you know I'm right, often. And then suddenly shore up that massive hole enough to be an above-average major league hitter. I don't like Mauricio that much. Beatty's different. Beatty's got an arm. Beatty's got a little more wiggle at third base than I thought. Beatty's got blossoming power. His OPS the final few months was terrific. And as he grows to have more of a discerning eye and learns the strike zone more and more and more, of those three guys, I would put big money, unless he's in a trade for Skubal or something, that Beatty is a Met and more productive than both Vientos and Mauricio by a wide margin.
Also, and I'm just trying to pull up Simeon's numbers. I know he had a bad offensive year last year, or a down year.
A little bit down, yeah.
But Simeon is going to be better at second base, talk about productivity offensively, than anything the Mets were getting there last year, certainly power-wise.
And speed.
Yeah, he's defensively as well. So you're already, how the hell do you spell his name here?
S-I-E. It's not S-E or S-I-E.
I can't.
Just put in
stupid. S-E-I-S-E. There you go. S-E-M-I.
It's like the Isaiah. There's a couple of different. Do you throw the I before the A? Is there no I?
Anyway, and I know
wrong, it turns into something else.
Wait, what's that, Huff?
No, if you spell Simeon wrong, it turns into something else, right?
Okay.
Does it?
He hit 15. He had 15 homers a year ago, but the 3 years before that, consistently, I mean, he went 45,
he was a beast.
45, 26, 29, 23. So I think you could pencil him in at 20 homers. What did McNeil have last year, Hoff? Can you look that up? McNeil's home runs there.
Yeah,
at
he
second
sucked.
base?
I mean, I think he had 10 home runs.
So anyway, I think they're going to get a little bit of an uptick with Simeon. A little bit of an uptick with Beatty potentially at third base. I'm okay going into the season with Simeon at second, Lindor at short, Beatty at third, Alvarez catching. You need a first baseman. If it's not going to be Pete, then they got to figure that out. I hate the idea of a Vientos McNeil platoon, but in that scenario, it's going to be somebody massive in the outfield. And really, even if Pete comes back, you still have to get a legitimate outfielder in addition to one of the spots going to the younger players. I've been saying the same thing. One of the spots is going to be Carson Bench, or at least one of the young players. I would say Bench is the favorite right now. That's going to be one of the outfield spots. The other is going to be Soto. The other is TBD. Bellinger, Buxton, Robert. They're going to get a legit Tucker. They're going to get a legit outfield bat to complement Soto and, let's say, Bench. And then the question is, well, what do they do at first base? Is Pete back or is he not? That's where the other big move is. It's either, and if Pete is not back, now maybe they have to go out and get a DH to make sure that they get a little bit of a better bat in that regard.
Or Yandy to play first base. We talked about that a little bit, right? Yandy Diaz.
12 home runs, you said, from McNeil? Yeah. So you're going to get
more from Simeon.
You're getting more power at second base already.
Yeah.
So they've already upgraded one spot as far as power. Meaning when people talk about, well, how are they going to replace Nimmo?
That's
and
plus 8. Could be more.
Right. I agree. Let's just say you're plus 8, or you're obviously going to be minus a lot if you lose Alonso, but you're also bringing in another player. You're bringing in a center fielder. What were their home run total in center field? I guarantee you.
Jeez.
Yeah, did they hit any?
I think that was the worst center field in baseball.
So I guarantee you that's going to be higher.
Yeah. I agree.
So first base is going to come down a little bit. Second base is up. Center field is going to be up.
I think Beatty's going to hit more.
Okay.
Perez stays healthy. Yeah, no, that's why I always look at the other positions here. All right, so a few things real quick. Number one, I like playing a young player or two. I really do. But where I would worry is if that young player's production determines the fate of your season. So you can't have, and I know they won't, you couldn't have a situation where it's Benj and Williams.
No.
I know they won't. I know they won't. Like if you have a Soto and a Bellinger, or a Soto and a Tucker, or a Soto and a Diaz and a Lindor, like a couple of proven. Now we can roll Benj out there, see what he's got. So to me, that's number one. The other thing, back to the Simeon, the power, I'm not even looking at the power. And that's obviously a plus in terms of what he'll hit versus McNeil. What I look at is first and second, 7th inning, 8th inning, 2 on, 2 out, 1 hop bullet up the middle. We got to snag this thing, turn 2. Guess what? Simeon's doing it, and McNeil's not.
Right.
And those are the things that the Mets have to get better at. Their defense. See, we focus so much on, I think certainly the Yankees against the Dodgers in the World Series. It was a high-wire circus act, the way they kicked the ball around. Not covering first base, of course, the pop-up with Judge, the play at third base with Volpe and Jazz. We all know that in the back of our minds, seared forever. But I thought the Mets defense last year stunk. I did not like it at all. And I think it's going to be a lot better. So because of that, I think you can hit fewer home runs, have a better rotation, be tighter with defense, and maybe be a better team.
BT and Sal on the Fan. More of your calls when we come back. 888-808-1019. Now we have some breaking news. What do you got, Hoff?
It's a big one.
Oh, give me something good here.
What? Pete?
Yeah.
He's gone. I can tell by your face.
And there's nothing we could do.
He's gone.
5 years, $155 million. Jeff Passan just now.
Where?
Oh, Orioles.
Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Me neither. Me neither. Wow.
Can I just say I freaking hate David Stearns? What the hell are you doing, you moron?
Wow.
You are the dumbest person in all of baseball.
This is not.
What the hell?
It's not Stearns.
Oh, my ass.
So wait, 5 years?
155. The market was freaking set, dude. Yesterday, the market was set.
set by
5
Schwarber.
years, 150. It was set. Okay?
man.
The Mets
They're
are
ripping the
just
They're
dumb.
ripping the Band-Aid off.
Oh, my. Yeah, they ripped everything off.
Well, you know what? They're not
They went
ripping
waxing.
but they're not ripping a Band-Aid off something that's good. And you don't have a Band-Aid if your skin's not cut. The reason the Mets had a Band-Aid is because they were cut. All right? And now you rip the Band-Aid off because maybe there's a better way to get that skin to heal. Now, maybe there's not. I appreciate Hop's energy. I don't blame you. I don't blame. I would if. I mean, Evan's going to lose his mind today. Met fans are going to lose their minds. I respect that. For me, there's a better way to build a team. But Met fans, I feel you, man.
Hold
this
on.
is
Let me
wrong.
just tell you something. Hold on, really quick. My ass is a better way to build this team because I've seen many levels of the Will Pond Mets build teams. Rather than go for Matt Holliday, let's go Jason Bay. We can go shorter,
No, you're wrong.
cheaper.
You're wrong.
Oh,
You're
get
wrong.
out of
No,
here.
you're wrong.
both wrong. Everybody's wrong. Everybody butchered this. Everybody butchered Pete Alonso. Everybody's sitting here saying there's no value. He's not
All right,
good.
can we
He's
react,
terrible.
please? Are we allowed to react? We have two shows left here. Are we allowed to react to this on our own? You're going to be here beyond that. We're
After
not.
one.
Yeah, okay. I mean, let's digest the news here.
Yeah.
I don't want to have the show taken hostage, Hop. No offense. But let's digest the news here with Alonso. So breaking news.
Wow.
5 years, 150 with the Orioles.
155.
155
right?
with the
Schwarber
Orioles.
got the 150. He got 5 more.
Mets had their line in the sand drawn.
Yep.
They weren't going to budge on that.
Nope.
I'm sure we'll get more details on it, whether he goes back or not.
Mm-hmm. Man.
But Pete's gone. That's a rough thing to digest.
Yeah, it is. No, I get it, man. What I want to know, and we didn't know this right away with Diaz yesterday, but we will find out hopefully before 2, maybe in the next couple of minutes, right? Did he go back to the Mets with a chance to match? Because I believe, and I always said this, did he want to be a Met or did he want to be a Met? There's a big difference in the inflection, and I believe he was so hurt and so angered by the treatment, and I understand that from his point of view, that he's like, if somebody comes correct, I'm out of here.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Right now, let's get you updated. Here's Andrew Bogus.
Get the latest on the Giants and Jets on WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 1 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogus. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Chef IQ. Precision cooking, effortless results, chefiq.com. And by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit bensfam.com. In just about 24 hours, 2 pillars of the recent Mets are now gone. First, Edwin Diaz, and now it's Pete Alonso. As you just heard, reports coming out just moments ago, it's a 5-year, $155 million agreement with the Baltimore Orioles. There is also this from baseball. Joe Buck wins the Hall of Fame's Ford C. Frick Award for broadcasting excellence. He no longer calls MLB games regularly, but has been behind the mic for more World Series and All-Star games than any other announcer. The Giants will face Marcus Mariota, not Jaden Daniels on Sunday. The Commanders ruling out their starting QB because of his dislocated left elbow. He returned from that injury last week, but got knocked down hard during an interception return. No new structural damage to that elbow, but no reason to play him in a meaningless game. Meanwhile, Mike Kafka will not explain why D-line coach Brian Cox was let go during their bye week. No practice today for Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields, so Brady Cook gets all the first-team reps. Adrian Martinez has been re-signed as insurance. And Phillip Rivers is officially on the Colts practice squad, practicing today. Maybe he plays Sunday in Seattle. Fan weather is sponsored by New York City Small Business Services. Again, it is 39 degrees, some sun in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Every Saturday at 8 a.m., it's Kickoff with Boomer and Mike Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL.
I need to see a lot more before I'm ready to say, yes, this kid's going to be the next Jackson Dart or Drake May.
Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by Nationwide. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. And The Fan, always streaming on Odyssey, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio app.
Since January of 2022, the City of New York has awarded $24 billion in contracts to MWBEs, the most of any U.S. city or state in the nation. Build your business with the City of New York by going to nyc.gov/MWBEs.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Experience the magic of the season during the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. Enjoy exclusive holiday offers at Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Cattina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name, Ray Cattina. Discover the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Think Verizon's best 5G network is expensive? Well, think again. This season, bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store for a better deal. Then use those unwanted bills to wrap up goodbye gifts to AT&T or cut them into snowflakes and celebrate your switch from T-Mobile. 'Tis the season to save at Verizon. Just bring in your bill to your local Verizon store and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT and Sal Show brought to you by Cadillac. Where the hell's the read here? Boy.
This is nuts, man.
Pete
As you're
Alonso
looking for it.
officially
Wow.
gone. The BT and Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Giants. So it's reported here, and everybody's getting it now, Passan and Heyman, that Pete Alonso signs for 5 years, or is reportedly agreeing to a deal. 5 years, $155 million with the Orioles. BT. Heyman, as Heyman puts it, Alonso ended up making $205 million in the 7 years after turning down $158 for 7 a couple years back. He's trying to make that, paint that a good picture for Pete and his client boards, whatever it may be.
That's right.
Good for Pete. He got his money. I've been telling you for a while, remember the industry source that I talked about weeks ago was saying the Mets aren't going to budge this time on Pete. Nobody's getting involved. Nobody wanted to hear that. It's a reality. The Mets had their line in the sand at 3 years. You started to get the feel that there would be at least one team to go higher based on what Schwarber got yesterday. Not surprising to see Pete get 5 years. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who signed him. Doesn't matter how much he got, how many years, what happened. Bottom line is Pete Alonso is no longer a New York Met.
I honestly feel badly for the Met fans. I really do. Now, you guys know where I stand on him as a player. I mean, for 2 years, I've basically been saying, I'd probably move on or I'd be okay with it. I've always stood by that. I've always thought that. And, people could tell me he's amazing at first base. He's not. Can't throw. He's not the top tier kind of superstar that some people made him out to be. Never meant he didn't have great value. Always had great value. But there's levels of great value. And what Stearns covets, look at his old Brewers team, look at the players he's getting rid of, the deficiencies, there's a commonality there. Nobody should be surprised by this. Now, that's why, I remember saying early today when we started the show, I heard Boomer saying that he thinks this is better they're talking about the 5 years, 150 for Pete. I thought it was worse. I didn't think that or at minimal, didn't really have any bearing on whether or not the Mets would change their tune or Diaz leaving. No. This man was brought here, David Stearns, to make emotionless decisions, callous decisions that are going to piss you off right now. And by the way, this move, unlike Diaz, is several levels higher than being pissed. I'm sure, and I get it. I'm sure many of you are emotionally distraught right now. And that's not overstating it. Like pertaining to sports, and this stuff matters to me, and this stuff has always mattered to me. That's why it's the first thing I just said. And I feel for you because there's hundreds of thousands of you out there, family members, dads, moms, kids, grandkids, Alonzo jerseys under the Christmas tree, Alonzo jerseys at birthday parties, Alonzo jerseys by the menorah for Hanukkah on one of the nights. Like Pete Alonso is beloved by the New York Mets, which is independent from whether or not I think they did the right thing. I think that they did. But the rawness that you are feeling today, that sucks.
And now the bottom line is David Stearns has work to do. That's it. So get over the emotions of, well, we lost Diaz and lost Pete. You lost players that were from a losing team. I'm not trying to minimize their contributions. You can't. Pete was a prolific power hitter for the New York Mets, and I wish that he would have stayed. But David Stearns is no dummy, and he knows that the Mets need to build a winning team. Otherwise, his ass will be out. That is obvious. Steve Cohen knows the same thing. He needs to build a winner for his fan base. He's done everything he can in his power to be able to do that over the years. It hasn't worked out to the level that they had expected to even have sustained success on the smallest of levels while spending a ridiculous amount of money. They needed to change things up. Is this the right move? Don't know. You could say yes, BT. I could say yes. Hoff could say no. Others could say no. We'll find out. The moves that follow are the most important ones. This is not like when the Mets let Reyes go to the Marlins. The Mets will punch back. They're building a team, and it's going to be now without Nimmo, without Diaz, and without Alonso. And there is a part of that gets me excited about what this can now be because that version of it just wasn't working. Yeah. You can't replace his power. There isn't that power bat out. I mean, maybe they go get Kyle Tucker. Who the hell knows? I wouldn't put anything past the Mets at this point. They're going to be, I'm sure, frustrated, and they're going to be hungry to build this team to the best of their capabilities. Maybe there's some trades you talk about, Yandy Diaz, whatever it may be. But I still believe the Mets are going to go big this offseason, and they believed that building the core around those players was not the right way to go. And evidence, history, would tell you that that is correct based on what this group of players did, even at younger ages, let alone what they would project to do in years 3 or years 5.
You know, you said a couple things there. One of the first things you said is that Stearns is not a dummy. You're right, but he's also not a winner here yet. So we all know he's not a dummy, but he does not have that latitude from you because he hasn't earned it to do something like this where you have blind faith. And by you, I mean every Met fan out there. That obviously wanted Pete to stay, which is a massive majority, I would imagine. So, you know, he's now, when you haven't won to the level that you want to win at, and he has yet to do that, and now you jettison some of the most popular players the Mets have had in the last 20-something years. Forget about Diaz. I'm talking about more so Pete and Nimmo. I mean, those two players were ingrained in your New York sporting baseball soul. And that's not going to get replaced today on a radio show. It might be cathartic, and we'll get to the calls in a minute. It might help when you sign a Tucker or you do whatever you're going to do. Japanese import, couple of pitchers. We all know, maybe school, but whatever. But right now, there's an emptiness that's not going to be filled. I want to say this too, and I don't want to hijack this, so I'm not. Right? I'm not making this Yankees Mets. This is Mets. But I will say this. Yankee fans should be extra worried now about Bellinger. Because the money that you saved on the last 2 years from Nimmo, the money you just saved not give it to Pete Alonso, the money you just saved give it to Diaz, not give it to Diaz. If you tell me that the Mets tack on an extra year or two and $30 or $40 more million for Bellinger, who's a great defender, that would not surprise me. So,
and he could play first.
Of course. So I'm trying to keep this independent. But, I mean, they could get the Japanese Gold Glove first baseman, keep him there, get Bellinger, put him in left field. I mean, what they can do, there's no limits, really, to what they could do in terms of the pivot. But, again, until the season starts and the results take shape and they're good results, man, this is a low, almost as dark as Tom Seaver that day when they traded him in 77.
Will Salmon of The Athletic, who's been in tune with this stuff, says the Mets had some interest in bringing, this is word for word, The Mets had some interest in bringing Pete Alonso back, but they were not comfortable going to the lengths and figures it ended up at in his deal with the Orioles. That's according to league sources from Will Salmon, which is nothing. People were we were trying to tell you this for a long time that this was going to be the case here. It just took one team to go to that length. I am actually surprised that the Mets didn't bend a little bit here, but even if they went to a fourth year, that was not going to happen. You were always of the belief, BT, you were not going there. I said in the beginning of the offseason, I would have just gotten in front of this, given the 6 years, 180. It wouldn't have even taken that. Obviously, as Baltimore gets him for 155, but you're going to be looking at a totally different New York Mets team, and that to me is not a bad thing when the team won 83 games a year ago and just hasn't been good enough. But the moves that follow now, we could finally put it to bed. Years of the nonsense about Alonso. Stay, go, lifelong Met. Blah, blah. He's gone. That's it. Diaz, gone. That's it. Nimmo traded. That's it. Now, how are you building this team back up to where it should be a serious World Series contender this year? Now, those are the moves. Now is where the pressure is on Stearns. Not to keep those guys, building this team after those guys are no longer here.
And nobody wears a cap as dark as the villain Stearns right now. He is target number one. He is the one right now, and it's up to him to change that narrative. I believe Stearns is the most hated man, most hated person associated with any team of any sport in this city right now.
100% right. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Andrew is in Shirley. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, not for me. I'm hope that the David Stearns propaganda machine can calm down a little bit. I'm in the middle of my call, in the middle of waiting. This news breaks down. I was already calling to rip this guy apart. I actually want to call 2 weeks ago to rip this guy apart, and every day it's just built up. So this is poetic that Pete signs while I'm waiting on the phone call. Hoff had the perfect reaction. Oh, my gosh. They reward – I want to go to the fans real quick because I think any fan who shows up to Citi Field this year is a moron. And here's what I want to say. They begged us to go to Citi Field. We gave them record attendance at Citi Field while they handed us a bad product. We said, well, you asked us to come. We filled out the entire place. I hope they boycott the entire season. And before you tell me, well, these were losing players. No, you want to know who was losing players? The pitching that Stearns gave us. So hopefully we have such great Gold Glovers who are making diving plays over the fence. I don't think that defense is going to matter a lick as far as what we need for this team. But
Andrew, you don't even know what the Mets are going to do here.
I don't care.
Okay, well then you're not a Met fan if you don't care.
That's not true. There's not enough moves out there that can replace the offensive players and the homegrown players.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I do know that. I know
you don't know that. You don't know that.
You don't. I'm sorry. I'll trust David Stearns over you, Andrew.
Players in the league, guys.
Andrew,
Andrew, plays baseball.
Yeah, I got you. Good. Listen, good call. Thank you, buddy. But I'm not going to. I can't say that. I can't not say that you're wrong. I hate to be that blunt. But you're presenting it as fact when there's so many elements that remain to be done. It's not a fact yet.
Here's the bottom line. You're right. Met fans right now hate David Stearns because they don't trust him. They think he's cheap. They think he doesn't want to spend. They also, for whatever reason, lack trust in Steve Cohen. That's where there's a disagreement here as far as where I think you and I are at versus where Hoff or some of the angry fans are at right now. I still trust. It doesn't mean that I'm right. It doesn't mean that Andrew's right. I still trust that David Stearns and Steve Cohen are going to build a better team than what they had a year ago. So to come on and say, well, you shouldn't go out there. This is a disgrace. The Mets are going to stink. No, they stunk with Pete Alonso. Haven't won anything with him. They can win without him. I wanted them back. And I would have brought him back because I believe that they need a power bat. I would have gone to 180. I'm on record as saying that. It doesn't mean that you can't replace Pete Alonso and the Mets are going to be garbage now. They didn't want Pete back at that price. Just like Met fans were angry when they didn't want DeGrom back at the price that he got. And how'd that work out where DeGrom again got hurt? You'll get over it. You don't know what moves are going to be made. If this is the team or something close to looking like this as you go into spring training, then I can understand being upset. Right now, I guarantee you the Mets are working on something major to bring in big-time players to get this team to a level of success that they have not been at with Diaz, Nimmo, or Pete Alonso.
Hoff, you read it. What do you tell me about Sherman? What, hyping up Pete? Is that what you want me to read?
No, it's
which one?
It's the one where he says Joel Sherman source.
Yep.
The Mets never made an offer as it became clear to them that Alonso was getting bids for more dollars and years in their comfort zone.
And that's one of the things that. Thank you. That's one of the things that I stressed here at the start of the show. Like, if that was the number, and the guy sitting 5 feet to my left told you 3 years was beyond that is a non-comfort zone for the Mets. So if you've been listening to the show, you shouldn't be stunned. And then others obviously supported what we were saying on the show, what Sal was saying on the show. I think that the most important thing for me was I wanted to see, number one, if the owner would kind of swoop in and usurp that power, and the man that he hired to do the job get in the way, which would not be good, because when George did that, usually it didn't work out for the Yankees. That's not that's not a good dynamic for a winning team. Hire the person, let them do their job, let them cook. If they don't cook, you fire them. If they do cook, you give them extension. So that didn't happen. That's actually organizationally good for the Mets. The other thing I didn't want to see happen was Stearns, who was clearly committed to 3 years and probably didn't even really want him at 3 years, if you want to be honest, did not cave to the crushing public sentiment. Nimmo was loud. Now Diaz was louder. The easiest thing for him to do would be like, you know what?
Let's just bring him back.
Give him the fourth year, man. He's going to hit 38 home runs. Come on, let's bring him back. He stuck to what he believes is the right way to build a really good team. Now, that Brewers team was really good. Never won a championship, but really good. Fast, okay? Good pitching. Catch the baseball. That's what he's trying to do. So he didn't bend. He didn't flinch. He didn't acquiesce. And I think at the end of the day, that's smart.
Right, but do you exactly?
I do.
Do you think that David Stearns is gonna just build a losing team going into the season? There's no. I don't know the results. I'm talking about going into the season. There are many big moves to be had. We may not be aware of them. They might be trades that we don't even know about right now. Do you really think about it? Do you not trust Steve Cohen to build the best team that he possibly can? Do you not trust David Stearns on any level? I just don't understand why there would be such. I can understand being upset and sad that Pete is moving on and that the Mets let him walk. That is understandable. But not trusting this hierarchy to do whatever they can in their power to build the best team, that's where I can't comprehend why fans would be there. It doesn't mean that they're going to build the best team. They tried it last year the way that everybody wanted with everybody back. It didn't work. Even in 2024, that team wasn't good enough. Take outside the incredible run, the OMG run and Grimace. They weren't good enough. Were the New York Mets in 2024 really good enough to contend at the highest levels? No. They're not even close. The Dodgers mopped the floor with them. They did it with smoke
and mirrors?
Yeah, smoke and mirrors.
A little bit. And I know that sounds disrespectful, but it's not meant to. I mean, Iglesias was in the middle of so much, and he had a really good year, but I mean, that's just, and that was, by the way, Stearns, who signed him to a minor league deal, and he came and he hit 400 in Queens, and he was very good, and he brought up the emotion and the chemistry and all that vibe, all the good stuff. So, but that was not sustainable. Iglesias was not going to be playing for the Mets for the next 5 years. You stumbled upon that. And then Minaya switched up his windup and looked like Steve Carlton, Randy Johnson, or Jerry Kuzma, like a trio of those. Not that Kuzma is good as that, but I'm throwing a Met in there. You know what I mean? And basically, he got hurt, and the league figured out his new windup. So there were a lot of gimmicks to the Mets' success in 2024. And the sheer reality of it is this. Right now, as we sit here, the Mets have a second base situation that I like, a shortstop situation that I like, and a right field situation that I like. You need a first baseman. I like Beatty, but he's young. Catcher, you got to show me something. You got no DH. You got no left fielder. You got no center fielder. The Mets, he needs to start cooking fast.
Richie's calling from Brooklyn. What's up, Richie?
How you doing, boys?
What's up, Rich? How you doing, bub?
I was upset for about 90 seconds, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like you guys said, 6 years of Alonso, nothing. 6 years of Diaz, nothing. 6+ years of Nimmo, nothing. Right? So Stearns hasn't done anything yet to prove himself. Soto was all Cohen. He has Montes. He has those ugly signings. So he's definitely probably the biggest targeted guy in the city right now.
He will get fired if he doesn't put together a team that wins. He's going to get fired. I mean, end of story. That it's going to be somebody else.
So he has from now till February to obviously put something together. If he goes out there with Vientos at first, McNeil in left, and Taylor at center, and they re-sign Marte to DH,
God almighty.
He's done.
Unacceptable.
He's done.
That's not happening. 0.0%
Yeah,
chance.
that would
There's
never,
no
Cohen
chance
would
in
never
hell that's
allow
happening.
that to happen.
That is unacceptably, disgracefully bad.
They're going to, and thank you for the call, Richie. They're going to get a first baseman. They're going to get a legitimate outfielder. And they're going to get significant improvements in the rotation. All those things are in play. They need 2 big moves for their lineup and at least 2 big moves for the rotation.
And one more bullpen to go with Devin.
But even that I wouldn't say is a necessity right now. But yeah, I mean, sure. Definitively now, going into the season, they need 2 bats. They don't have a first baseman, and they have 2 outfield spots that are vacant. And they don't really have a DH. So you need at least one of first base or DH big bat, and at least one big bat in the outfield to go along with the young players we said. And I fully trust that they're going to get it. Is it going to pan out? Who the hell knows? But what we do know is it hasn't been good enough. It hasn't been good enough. Let the emotion of loving Alonso go. And I know that's easier said than done, but it hasn't been good enough. It is David Stern's job not to appease you and your emotions. It is his job to build the best team. The best team, a winning team that can sustain success. It's year 3. It's going to be an important year for him, obviously. You got to let him do his job. You could hate him. Maybe at the end of this, you love him. And I would bet that there's a better chance that the people who are calling today saying, screw the Mets, I'm done, I hate the Mets, don't go out there, that in a month or 2 into the season, they're going to say, you know what? We were wrong for doubting Stearns. And maybe it's going to take a little bit longer than that, but in the end, maybe it takes a couple years to have the sustained success. But you can't argue with what he did in Milwaukee and what he's going to try to do here in New York. You just unfortunately have to give him some time to prove himself.
Which I'm obviously willing to do. I'm less willing to say that I think in a month or so Met fans will feel totally different, or however you framed it, just because there's a dearth of big bats. And you said that they need a big bat in 2 spots, first base and the outfield. And I obviously agree, but the 2 biggest bats are gone. Schwarber's not coming. Pete's obviously gone. Now, there's different ways to build teams. Better on base, defense, Kwan, maybe Bichette, whatever. Maybe put him at third and maybe put Beatty at first. I don't know. He's got to figure stuff out here. But that is the reality. It's not a great free agent class at this point. You're going to have to get creative with trades. I also think that if the Tigers don't trade Skubal, I still think that the Met fan who's not going completely ballistic right now, and that's not many of you, understood, I think those who are still kind of stable really think that Skubal's coming. And if they don't trade him, then that's gonna even change the few remaining believers in what they're trying to do. So I don't know what it's going to look like on opening day. I do agree with the wrecking ball. You had to change it. I get it. But I'm not convinced completely that they nail it the next month or so. The Mets roster could look a little weak going into 2026.
BT and Sal on the Fan. Much more your reaction. Pete Alonso headed to Baltimore with the Orioles.
I mean, I'm still stunned. As much as I'm not surprised, I'm still stunned. Wow. All right, Total Orthopedics, Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. Whether it's a sports-related injury or something a little more complex, Total Ortho's got you covered with spots throughout Long Island, Queens, and now West Orange, New Jersey. Don't struggle with pain or injuries. Get fast expert care from the leading orthopedic doctors, including the #1 spine doctor on Long Island. Visit TotalOrthoSportsMed.com. That's TotalOrthoSportsMed.com. Schedule the appointment today. And Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experts at getting you back to being you.
Dart takes the snap. Big Blue is back after a bye, taking on the Commanders at MetLife. 1 o'clock Sunday.
Into the end zone for a touchdown.
The home of the New York Giants is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Michael Jenkins here to help you beat the books for the BetMGM Network. We're heading to the ice tonight and taking the under 6.5 between the Rangers and the Blackhawks. Hawks have been in a drought offensively, only scoring 3 goals in their last 3, and the Rangers are an under team. They have hit the under in 5 straight games on the ice. So let's take the under 6.5 between the Rangers and the Blackhawks. I'm Michael Jenkins from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter and beat the books, and download the BetMGM app today. And as always, please gamble responsibly.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-999-3339. That's 800-999-3339. Again, that's 800-999-3339.
This winter is shaping up to be a harsh, snowy season. So take control of the roads with a new set of Bridgestone Blizzak tires from Town Fair Tire at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, Town Fair gives you the most free services with your purchase of Bridgestone Blizzak tires. For the guaranteed best deal on Bridgestone Blizzak tires with the most free services for life, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
Facing lymphoma, leukemia, or myeloma, John Thurr Cancer Center at Hackensack and Jersey Shore University Medical Centers offers pioneering life-saving options. Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Donato, head of the state's largest, most experienced CAR T-cell program, a treatment empowering your immune system to fight cancer. For personalized quality care in Hackensack or Neptune from the state's best cancer program, call 833-CANCER-MD.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
15 Chow back on the Fan. Pete is gone. We'll get back to those calls.
Wow, 888-808-1019. Right now, though, we'll do caller number 10, a little Avenged Sevenfold here. Give us a buzz at 866-540-WFAN. Caller 10, as I said, 866-540-9326. That's your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Avenged Sevenfold. It's what you're hearing right now over at the UBS Arena on August 10th. Courtesy of our friends at Live Nation. Tickets going on sale this Friday, tomorrow. Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Wouldn't you want, BT, a president of baseball operations that you hire to run things the way that he wants to?
Yes,
You hire a guy to do his job.
Also depends how much I believe in him, but my initial answer would be yes.
Well, I mean,
I'm taking it general.
It's the only way to find out if he knows what he's doing.
Well, I say that because, like Cashman, like I wouldn't want him to do everything that he wants to do because I don't agree with him as much.
But he's also
as
been
I
here.
used to.
He's also been here
I
forever.
know. That's why I caveated. I got your main point.
So, I'm excited about what David Stearns is going to do.
I get it.
He's not dumb, so you know that he's aware of the public backlash. He's aware that he is really the number one villain right now in New York sports. I mean, there is no bigger bullseye than the one on the back. The Giants took a break here. I mean, nobody cares about Kafka and his cursing rants. Did you see that last night, by the way, on Hard Knocks? Anyway, it's not even worth watching. But Kafka is just, I mean, to me, he's completely lost. Anyway, the Giants probably, whether it was Shane, Dable, Shane Bowen, all that stuff.
They had the mantle for a little bit there.
David
they were
Stearns,
leading the race.
David Stearns is now.
Yes.
He's villain number one in this town. Even Cashman, people are frustrated with him or Hal.
By a mile, he's the villain.
David Stearns right now, people are looking for a little piece of meat from David Stearns, and he knows that he's not tone deaf. He's just going to build this thing as he should build this thing his way. The way that he wants to build a club, which I think is a great thing for the organization. Now, he just actually has to go out there and do it. Will he? Who the hell knows? But I'll tell you this, I trust him a lot more than I do a lot of the other general managers that either came before him or didn't have the track record that he did or wouldn't be as bold as to make these impossibly difficult decisions staring in the face of the hate that you know you're going to get. He didn't care. He's going to build this team the way that he believes it needs to be built to be a sustained winner, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, and the irony is that, the hate that is coming from every angle of the Met fan universe is directed at a Mets fan. That's the crazy part. Now, that shouldn't preclude you from doing what's right. I don't mean, fanboy, however, Stearns is, 38, 40, whatever he is. Grew up a Mets fan. I got a picture of Pete, Keith Hernandez or whomever. David Wright at my parents' house where I grew up. Let me keep Pete for sentimentality. No, you don't do that. That's stupid. And you'll be fired if that's how you run your job. But I got to tell you, and I want to say this delicately. I don't even really know how to say it because I don't want this to sound the wrong way. But there's an element. Sometimes how you deliver stuff, a lot of times how you deliver stuff matters, okay? And there's something about David Stearns that, I say this part with a smile, even though there's nothing to smile about today. He's got a punchable face. I'm just going, hang on. Like the way he delivers news, the way he talks about things, there's
an arrogance to him.
Whether it's an arrogance or a detachment or a little bit of both. I can't quite verbalize it, which I'm trying to be delicate, but I think that's why there's another level of anger. It's beyond, hey, you did this to us yesterday with Diaz. Now you do this with Pete. The way he delivers stuff, I think Met fans hate it.
There's always going to be a villain. For years, it was the Wilpons. I mean, that's just what it was. The way everything didn't matter who the GM was. It was the Wilpons. Large in part, even though there was some success with the Wilpons when they were running things. I mean, the Mets did go to the 2015 World Series. Like they made it to the World Series. How could that be possible? Anyway, the Wilpons were always the villain because a lot of the issues that the Mets had were finances. They were never in on the big free agents post 2009, letting some players go after 2009. We all know the history. Now, you can't blame the owner because look at where the payroll's at. The Mets are in on all these big-time players. So now it's going to be Stearns because of his analytical, nerdy type feel. People already hate that to begin with, especially in this town. We do it with the Yankees as well. So I'm not disagreeing with that. However, he hasn't even had a chance to build his team. So it's just being irrational to be irrational.
Which today is, by the way, is not unfounded irrational or misplaced irrationality. If there's ever a day to be irrational as a fan, I'm going to give the Mets 24 their fans to be irrational.
Where I think the Mets got hurt here was that they were not, I don't know this, but I would expect that they were not expecting to lose Diaz the way that they did.
Well, then that's bad business. Well, you got to be prepared for everything. You want to be a top level franchise, you got to be buttoned up with that. You cannot be surprised, Sal.
BT, I understand that. All I'm saying is He didn't come back to them. It's not like they knew they were not going to get Pete back. I knew, and I was trying to tell everybody, nobody wanted to listen, Pete wasn't coming back. Once the Mets drew the line in the sand saying they're not going to bend beyond their 3-year thing, he was going to get more than that this year. All it took was one team. That was obvious that was going to happen.
Yeah, but I was saying Red Sox, you were saying he's gone.
So they're not, this is not a surprise to them. But on the heels of what happened yesterday, which I'm sure was at least a little bit of a surprise to them. Now, I don't know. I'm just assuming. But when he leaves for $3 million more, he didn't even go back to them, that hurt them in the public space in a spot where maybe they weren't prepared to be hurt there yet, because they were like, well, we're going to try to bring him back. We're going to give fair market value, whatever it is, we'll match. And then they didn't have the opportunity to do that. So that was strike one against them in a bad way. And then you wash that down with Alonso leaving. That's tough to overcome in a 2-day span. So I understand that. Let's not forget the Mets sucked last year. And they sucked the majority of the year before that. And the year before that, they sucked even worse. That's 3 straight years.
I get it.
3 straight years of the majority of those seasons with this core, they sucked. The majority of those 3 seasons. And it started with the implosion at the end of a very successful season in 2022. Getting beat by the Braves, right into the playoffs, collapsing. This is not a 1-year aberration.
I agree.
The aberration was the second half of last year and the miraculous run in the postseason. So this is 3 years of the majority of losing baseball. How Met fans can't understand that is beyond me. I'm excited that they took a wrecking ball to it. Again, I wanted Pete back because I thought he made him better. Now it's on its turn to say, I'm going to show you that this is the better way to build the club. He's got to go do it now.
I think that they can understand it. I don't think that they want to. I think that right now they're choosing not to embrace it, which I understand at this point. Now, the moves that are made, that's going to determine everything, man. I get it as well. And come on, man. I mean, geez, I've been talking about Pete Alonso for years here, and I always on some level, I felt kind of guilty. I'm like, God, I know he's really good. And I'm sure that this sounds, I just got to tell you what I feel. So not that I was worried about it or apologetic, but I didn't think he was as good as a lot of people thought. So I agree fundamentally with what the Mets are in the process of doing. But boy, it's been a hellacious couple of days, man. Wow.
Annibal's calling from Bridgeport, Connecticut. What's up, Annibal?
Hey, how you doing, Sal, BT?
Good.
I'm gonna miss you guys more than I'm gonna miss Diaz.
Oh, that's nice.
What about Pete?
What about Pete?
No.
Oh, no. Check this out. As I've been holding on to get online with you guys, I heard the shocking news. Pete is gone.
Yes, that is true.
Oh my! This is what I don't understand. Kyle Schwarber got $150 million, 5 years.
Yeah.
Why can't the Mets give him that number that he wants,
I'm going to
even
tell you,
if it
Annabelle,
was 160?
it's a simple answer, because they didn't value him the way the Phillies valued Kyle Schwarber. You might not want to hear it, but that's the blunt truth. Bottom line.
Can I tell you something? What I want the Mets to do now?
Yes.
I want the Mets. Sal, I got to tell you one thing. I was very upset, but because the way you expressed yourself and said that we don't know what the Mets are cooking, it relaxed me a little bit. But let me tell you, let the Mets go over there, get Screwball, even if they have to take Javi Baez's contract, take it with us and get Bellinger to put on first base.
Look, the Mets, Annibal, I can assure you, and thank you for the call, and we appreciate the kind words very much. I can assure you the Mets are going big. They're going big. You may not like it because you loved Alonso, you love Diaz. I guarantee when this team heads to spring training, when this team heads back north for opening day, I guarantee you will be excited about the possibilities of New York Met baseball. This isn't prior ownership. This isn't the old days. This is a tough day to swallow for a player that you loved or players on consecutive days that you loved. You've got to look at it a little bit differently here. I just told you. Trust me, when there's a time to yell about it, I'll yell about it. maybe somewhere else, but I'll yell about it. Today, to me, is not that. Let's see what they do. And I believe they're going to build a legitimate team and make big moves that will get the fans excited for the 2026 season.
Okay, so the big moves, here's the problem. And I don't doubt that you could be right. Matter of fact, I subscribe to that a little bit more than I don't. And everything I've said for a while is in line with that, right? But then I'm going to ask you, all right, to go big, now the options are dwindling. So you've got to be almost
that we see on the surface.
So, I'm talking about free agents for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Trades could be, and we've talked about this possibility. Give me a quick yes or no. Do you think the Mets get Tucker? I don't.
I put it this way. I think anything is possible.
All right. I'm
not ruling them out. Would I say it's the most likely?
I'm not going to rule them out. I don't think they get him, though.
Who's to say? Now, I don't even know if I want him with the character issues or whatever. Not the characters, but
there's a love for baseball. We talked about this. All in, whatever.
But would I be shocked if they got Tucker and moved Soto to left? I wouldn't. I think any, and that's the beauty of the Steve Cohen Mets. Anything is possible and should be possible. So even the difficult things, nobody thought that they would trade Nimmo, and yet that happened. Meaning, like, who's going to take Brandon Nimmo? Couldn't happen, and they did that. So, I still think Tucker's a possibility, but I wouldn't say it's the most likely move.
Okay, I don't think he's coming to New York at all.
Yep.
I don't think the Mets make a serious run at Bichette. I think there's a little bit better chance now than there was when we woke up yesterday that the Mets do get Bellinger.
And who's a better player, Bellinger or Pete Alonso?
All around night tonight's Bellinger. But my point is, if the Yankees if he just loves the Yankees and Bellinger stays there.
Which I think is going to happen.
So do I, although I am a little bit worried. The Mets, not that they need the extra cash, but now they could go nuts on Bellinger and the Yankees might step away. But I still think he's going to wind up at the Bronx. But until he's there, I'm not sold 100%. I don't think they're getting Tucker, and I don't think they're getting Bichette. I don't think the Padres are trading Tatis. There's only so many big moves to make. They better get some pitching because they're not going to hit their way to the playoffs. I don't think.
On the service, David Stearns, he knows more about who's available and what he could do than we do. And he's not surprised that Pete Alonso got what he got.
I get it.
He didn't
want Pete.
He's been planning for this.
He didn't want Pete. Hey, let's say what you said yesterday, and I think you nailed it. Diaz didn't want the Mets. I got news for everybody. This one's going to hurt. Stearns didn't want Pete. So there's a lot of not wanting certain things going on right now. One thing I want to ask you, I guess we can get to this coming up next because it's getting a little bit late here. So is there now a percent? You know what? I'm going to save it because if I say it now, I'm going to say it's an important question for the Mets moving forward.
BT and Sal on the Fan.
It's Boomer and Gio, mornings on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
And talking to anybody who's ever played at a high level, including you, one of the biggest indicators of getting your ass whipped is those rushing yards.
That's exactly right.
Listen to Boomer and Gio on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The Indianapolis Colts are out of options, and yesterday they signed 44-year-old quarterback Phillip Rivers. Sounds crazy, but here's the thing. Do you have a better idea? They're out of options with Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, and now possibly third stringer Riley Leonard hurt. Rivers is tight with Coach Shane Steichen and knows the offense. It would take a miracle for this to work, but it's sure going to be fun to watch, so I'm not complaining. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. That's 800-676-1090.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Nada que ver. Bring in a bill from AT&T or T-Mobile to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. ¿Y ahora? ¿Qué vas a hacer with all those unwanted bills? Pues, how about a full-scale origami version of the Statue of Liberty? Fuera de broma. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to your local Verizon store in New York City today, and we'll give you a better deal for you and tu familia. Rankings based on RootMetrics Root Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Requires postpaid consumer mobile bill from T-Mobile or AT&T dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Tonight on SNY, follow the storylines as the Mets scan the free agent class and trade candidates to retool the 2026 roster.
Definitely something to watch for the Mets.
Mets Hot Stove live from the winter meetings tonight at 6:30 only on SNY.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
At Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, we're celebrating this holiday season with our $155,000 Slay the Road drawing, including your chance to win a new Range Rover Defender and $10,000 cash. Earn entries all month long, then be here on January 1st between 12 and 3 p.m. when one winner will be drawn every hour to win up to $20,000 cash. At 4 p.m., one lucky winner will win a Range Rover Defender and $10,000 cash at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Want the best deal on Bridgestone winter tires? Get to Town Fair Tire and get Bridgestone tires at the guaranteed lowest price. Plus, you get more free services than anywhere else. When you combine Town Fair's guaranteed lowest price with the most free services, you get the guaranteed best deals anywhere on your Bridgestone winter tires. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. And you know we mean nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Once upon a time, Dunkin' made the perfect donut. And from its center came something even better. Dunkin' Munchkins. Tiny bits of joy made from the dough they scooped right out of the middle. This holiday season, Dunkin' Munchkins remind us that even the smallest of things can mean the most. Like laughing with friends or enjoying the last munchkin in the box. So grab a box of 3, 5, 25, or 50. Share them, gift them, or keep them all for yourself. We won't tell. Dunkin' Munchkins. Proof that something so small can be the best bite of all. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Talk New York sports here.
Now, I said before we took the commercial break here, I want to throw something by you here. Now, a lot of the things around sports is built around perception. Like when a certain team starts to turn things around, people want to join it. There's an energy, there's an aura, and that's generally very beneficial. Now, I don't even know where I stand on this, but I have an inkling. But I want to give you first crack here. Diaz willingly left, did not give the Mets a chance to match. Pete basically willingly left. And Nimmo willingly waived the no trade, basically willingly left. Again, we don't know whatever really is real or not between Lindor and Soto and McNeil and clubhouse stuff and Energy and Mendoza getting ripped by Ottavino. Right now, it does not seem like a lot of players want to be associated with the Mets, just based on the move so far.
I think that's I think Diaz is the only one that you could say.
Okay. All right. Well, either way.
Pete wanted to, as he should, maximize his income.
Yeah.
That is don't think too hard about it.
I'm not, but either way, more people are leaving than coming until further notice.
Right,
I guess so. You don't think that there's a perceptual issue with the Mets right now? I do.
There might be, but it's not a real issue with the Mets.
Well, it's real if guys don't want to be around. It's as real as you make it. It might not be real, but if that's what people think,
but
that's
Nimmo,
not good.
Nimmo didn't ask to be traded.
Understood.
They traded him.
Well, they said, will you acquiesce to this trade? He's like, sure.
Yeah, well, after he knew that they didn't want him anymore and that they were going a different direction and that the Rangers wanted them, that is a separate issue. Diaz is the only one that is like, well, why wouldn't he come back to the Mets? And the reports, this is not me guessing, the reports were that he was upset that they didn't go to him about Devin Williams. Maybe he was upset they didn't give him more money. So that's, to me, on Williams. The Pete thing is also a clear He wanted a certain contract. He got it from the Orioles. The Mets were never going to go that far. Whether we think it's right or wrong, they were never going to do that.
Do we know if Pete's camp went back to the Mets and said, hey, here's what we have concretely?
The Mets never even, the reports of the Mets
never made the offer.
Yeah, because they knew it was getting to a price where
their hard line was 3 years, and it was already get passed based on the Schwarber stuff. So that's why I use the word perception. I don't know if it's the reality. I know, sitting here in the same studio with you last year, right? The energy and the perception around the Mets was completely different than it is today. Soto left the World Series team, the Yankees, to go to the Mets, and the energy was off the charts. And now it seems like it's flipped. Now, it doesn't mean it can't be stabilized.
But I think that's a good thing because it wasn't good enough last year.
Yeah, listen, for the last 3 years. No, let's come on. They won nothing, this group.
They needed to change it up. So however it's happening, I'm excited to see what's next. But the what's next is the biggest part. It shouldn't be, after you get over the emotions of venting and frustrating and sad that you lost Alonso and Diaz, it should not be about those guys leaving. It's about, okay, well, what's next? What are you doing to replace those guys and build this team into a legitimate World Series contender, which they are nowhere near close enough to as we sit here right now. I don't think on December 10th, the roster is going to look the same as it does on February 10th. It's not. So that's what I'm excited to see. What moves? Steve Cohen wouldn't do that from a business standpoint alone, knowing that he's got to sell tickets and have an amazing day out there at Citi Field. There's no way they're going to do that without a big move.
Yeah.
So, or two, or multiple moves.
Which they need, and I think they'll make.
For the record, let's say they sign Bellinger. That's not going to be big enough.
No, I agree with that.
So
no pitching staff.
I'm talking big beyond just, well, go get Bellinger now and trade for Peralta. It's got to be even bigger than that. There has to be multiple big moves. When you gut a team like this, a beloved core, even though it was a unsuccessful core, when you gut a beloved core, you better come correct with the next bigger and better moves. I believe that they will, but time will tell.
My only fear is for the Mets is that there's not many A moves to make. You know, Skubal's an A move. Skeens an A move. Bellinger, he's a B move. Bichette, to me, given his defensive deficiencies, I love his bat, B minus. So it's going to be a combination of moves that have to add up to an A. But that means, because these two big bats are off the board, Schwarber and Pete, he can't make another mistake. Like, he's got to be perfect.
Steve is calling from Stamford, Connecticut. What's up, Steve?
Hey, BT and Sal. To quote you guys, I'm one of those unstable, irrational, ballistic Met fans. I'm also a season ticket holder. And I got two words for Stearns and Cohns. I'm done. And you guys said it pretty clearly. You guys cited that Alonso, Nimmo, Diaz, they were popular. They were loved. And I guess it comes down to how people root for teams now. You to quote Jerry Seinfeld, do you root for the laundry? Or do you root for the players wearing the uniform? There's a relationship between the fans and the players, especially in baseball. They're not covered with helmets. They're not covered with shoulder pads. You see them. You know what they look like. You'd recognize them on the street. There's a relationship. And when you break
and you watch them every night, unlike the other sports,
so
you
Steve,
watch them every night.
Steve, we get all that. Let me ask you, would you rather than watch the Mets again win 83 games, but you get your guys Diaz, Alonso, and Nimmo back?
Let me ask you this. People in Chicago went to Cubs games for 100 years without a winner. People at Fenway Park.
All right, so I'm asking you. I know my answer. I want to see winning. I don't care who the players are. I want to see winning. I'm asking you, would you rather, again, keep your season tickets and watch an 83-win season falling short of the playoffs, but you have Diaz, Alonso, and Nimmo back?
I want a competitive team. And if your definition of success is winning the World Series, then, you know, how many people? You have 100 teams a year that win a century who win the World Series. You give me a competitive team that's entertaining.
You still didn't answer the question.
Personalities. I want to see a competitive team with players that I like.
Okay.
I answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little nebulous, but understood. I got you. Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, the goal should be, and it's even for the Dodgers, who seem like they'll be in this stratosphere forever. They won't. Newsflash. I mean, the goal is to every year have a chance to compete for the World Series. And this Mets group was on borrowed time. This Mets group was never going to win anything. You might not want to hear it, but if you're honest, you know I'm right.
Yeah.
That's it. So you got to do something.
He's talking about World Series. How about make the playoffs? They didn't make the playoffs. I get the connection to certain players. My connection to players, for the most part, is how successful they are helping the team win. I loved Mike Piazza, not because his last name ended in a vowel, not because he wore a number that I liked or because he looked good in a uniform.
Now, did you like the number because he wore it, or
No,
did he wear the? Okay,
I liked him because when he got here, he produced, which helped the team win. Simple as that. Before Piazza, guess who I liked? Todd Hundley. And to lose Todd Hundley. Oh, yeah, that's going to hurt. Hundley, homegrown Met. Hundley, home run record, 41. Once I saw Piazza produce to the level that he did, I didn't give a you-know-what about Todd Hundley. And it's going to be difficult to replace Diaz and Nimmo and Alonso, certainly with the individual statistics that those guys put up. But it shouldn't be that hard to improve on the 83-win playoff-less season and 3 years in a row of really disappointing baseball for the majority of those years.
Listen, there's so many things here. My God, I mean, I almost wish we had another hour just to sit
we got tomorrow.
That's true. Then that's it. But I find it so interesting, and a caller brought this up. You just kind of look at the timeline, and I respected when Cohen did this, and I had his back when he did this. Hey, show up. I'm doing my job. Make sure you show up at City. 13 or 15 or 16,000 on a Wednesday night. I know school's back in session, guys, but during a pennant race, unacceptable. Well, they listened to you, Steve. They followed you, and they gave you they set an attendance record for Citi Field, all right? And then your team stunk every night, and you lost 83 games. And now you're letting guys walk out the door that those fans who clicked that turnstile nightly loved. Now you better get going, and you better fix it.
All right, that does it for us. Thanks to Dove. Thanks to Hoff. Thanks to everybody who listened and who called. We appreciate each and every one of you.